Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. I'm your host, Cooley. Tonight is debate night, and also we'll be doing some reactions. And I got a special new intro for y'all. Check this out. And y'all see the suit too, man. Listen, new studio, new podcast, by the spirit, not by the letter. Bro, we can go verse for verse all day long. Doing new things. Men are okay with understanding the reality that we are in competition with one another. But you ladies think that you're special. You are in competition. Men are men of their word. So here's my word. I'll fly you out here and we can do it in person. And after that, we could box. I'm about my business. So remember I said, when I ask you these questions, I will dismantle your entire argument. That's the end of the debate, my dog.
I'm 39, but I don't look your typical 39.
Belly.
Yeah.
You look 39. It's okay though. That man isn't intimidated by a woman like you. He's annoyed by a woman like you. Because a man doesn't want to date another man. He wants to date a woman. Come on, chat. Let's get the likes up for that new intro. That intro was pretty fire. It was pretty fire. Put a 1 in the chat if you think it was fire. Put a 2 in the chat if you think it was trash. Then I got to go back and speak to my editor to make some changes. But yeah, man. So tonight is debate night. And also we will be reacting to some content that the members sent us. So it's open debate night. So anyone that wants to join the stream, go ahead and click the first link in the YouTube description. And I welcome everyone in. Haters, I welcome people in with different opinions, different perspectives. I welcome people, feminist in, the woke mind virus. I welcome, the lefties and the liberals, the Democrats. I welcome all of those people. And I even welcome the Hebrew Israelites. Destroyed them a few months back, but y'all welcome to come back in here and get this smoke again too if y'all want it. So that's going to be the first link in the YouTube description. You click that link and you can go ahead and join stream. But for about the first, I would say, good 15 to 30 minutes, we will be reacting to content. And then we'll start bringing people up for debate night. The next link in the YouTube description is going to be for the membership. We do have 3 tiers. First tier is gang. Second tier is hitman. Third tier is mob size. You join any of those tiers and you are locked in with us. You are welcome to the cookout. As Ease always says, Ease will be cooking at the cookout. Then the next link is going to be for the Clips channel. We've been posting clips on the Clips channel daily, so subscribe to the Clips channel, man. If you want to, see, clips of the girl shows, clips of, the debates and things like that. Like if you can't sit and watch the full 3-hour, 4-hour podcast, that's cool. Just go ahead and subscribe to the Clips channel. That's going to be the third link in the YouTube description. Subscribe there, and then, anytime we post clips, click the bell icon and you will be notified. The next link is going to be for one-on-one coaching. If you need any coaching on dating and relationships, couples coaching, or even media and marketing coaching, go ahead and click that link. If your chick is withholding sex for compliance from you, if you're lazy as a man and you just, can't find the motivation to get through your day-to-day, go ahead and click that link. I got you. I'll coach you on masculinity too. Seems like you'll be lacking on that. Couples coaching too. I have been doing a good amount of some couples coaching. So yeah, click that link if you need some coaching, man. Then we have all these social media platforms. We got the X account. We got the Twitter in there. Well, X is Twitter now. Twitter is X now, but we got the Facebook account. We got both the Instagram accounts and the TikTok. So hit us up on all social media platforms. Do that now if you're already not following us. Okay, well, tonight, once again, we'll be starting with reacting to clips that the members sent us. Now, if you want me to react to any of your clips, if you're like, you see something on social media and you're like, you know what? I want Cooley's perspective on this. One, it works best if you're a member because we prioritize the membership. So one, I would say join the membership team, subscribe, and then you'll be priority. But if you're not a member, you could still DM us on Instagram at No Fugazee Podcast, and we'll get to it. That's if you want us to react to any clips that you have. But without further ado, let's get into the first clip then. And let's see what the chat's saying about that. I know y'all gotta like that intro. Okay, y'all do like the intro. I told you, man, the intro is pretty fire. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and Wick Kid, I see you in here, man. Hit that like button. Hit that like button now. Let's go. All right, so here's the first clip from one of the YouTube members. I'm not sure what it is. I didn't review any clips. I've been extremely busy because I do have a life besides just podcasting. This is why I don't go live every day, because this is not all I do to make my coins. But anyways, all right, so here's the first clip. I got to actually start reviewing clips so I can give some good takes. I mean, my takes be good, but, you know, if I actually reviewed them, oh, man, the takes would be superb. Be glorious. All right. We got people already joining the stream for debate night. If you are currently trying to join the stream right now, remember, we are reacting to clips for the first 15 to 30 minutes, and then we will be bringing people up. So I see AJ, you just joined the stream. You're currently backstage, AJ. You can go ahead and wait patiently, or you can come back up within the next 15 and 30 minutes and I'll bring you on up. But if you stay in the queue, you will be the first one I bring on up, AJ. So I see you back there. And yeah. All right. So first, let's get to this clip. What is this? What's going on out here in social media?
Shot that all boy?
Ain't not shit, that's my motherfucking son.
World star. Oh no.
That's my motherfucking son. You don't got no business. Hey, barbershop, I told you that. I told you that shit. 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 It's your first time.
Hey, let me go ahead and call this mama real quick and we gonna get to the bottom of it.
All right, you go ahead and do that.
Okay, so it seems like a situation where that's the father of the son that was sitting in the chair getting his hair cut. And that other dude, that's the biological father, and that other dude seems like he's playing stepdaddy. And he's like, hold up, let me go ahead and call his mother. So it seems like the real father is just trying to get his son. Let's continue on. Let's see where this goes.
And she better say the right shit, because if she don't, I'm about to get the swinging in this. Oh, God. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever.
I'm trying to poke you, man.
Yeah.
Yo, he really calling this chick like, hold up, wait. Let me call my chick. Let me call your baby mom real quick and make it good for, make sure it's okay for you to take your son. This is wild. See, and you know, this is one of the reasons why, generally speaking, you do not want to take single mom seriously. You don't want to take single mom seriously, especially if you don't have a kid yourself, because it's a probability that you can be in a situation like this where, you know, you're just, taking care of little homie, taking him to get a haircut, then the real pops come up and it could have got violent. It seems like it possibly still can get violent, but let's see where this goes.
Hey, ass not answering the phone, huh? Hey, ass probably well, I thought ass.
Hey, bro. Man. Like I told you,
Hey,
get him out your phone.
That's not your motherfucking son. That's my motherfucking son.
And the crazy thing is he's all up in another man's face and he's doing this around his son. So there's a few things that you're seeing here already. So what's being displayed here is weakness on both parts, total weakness on both parts. I would say more weakness on the biological father's part, because if that's my son and, he's in the barbershop and, the little stepdaddy, the dude that's playing stepdaddy is right there, I may say something to the stepdaddy like, hey, man, this is my son. I'm about to go ahead and take him. And it would be calm. It wouldn't be any loud screaming. It wouldn't be yelling or me getting irate. It would be, I'm about to take my son. Come on, son, hop about the chair. We out. And my son would get out the chair and he would come with me and then we would leave. That's the masculine approach to do, because getting up in someone's face, like, I don't scream. I'm not going to be screaming in another man's face. That's silly. Why would I do that? If I'm that angry, I would punch a man in his face. Why would I scream? Screaming is dumb. Screaming doesn't get anything done. So currently right now, the real father, he's displaying weakness to his own son. One, that's crazy. Like, you got to get mad and emotional, and you're displaying your emotional erratic behavior around your son, which your son can then adopt these same behaviors, instead of playing it cool, walking up to the dude that's playing stepdaddy. Yo, I'm about to go ahead and take my son, man. So son, come on, little Billy, time for you to come with me. My son would get up and he would come. So that's what would happen. Then if the dude says anything to reject it, I mean, if the dude looks the wrong way, he's getting black eyes. He's getting beat up to smithereens. I'm taking him smooth out. That's just how it's going to happen. And my son would learn a lesson in that situation too. Like, well, to protect your family, if anyone tries to say anything different about my family, you're going to catch these hands. So the whole screaming and stuff, that's dumb. If you want to get active, go ahead and actually get active. And it's crazy because the stepfather, he's there really trying to call the baby mom like, yo, man, your baby father here, like, what's going on? But let's continue to play this. Let's see how this plays out.
You want to be Russell Wilson so bad. You want to be Russell Wilson so bad.
He said he want to be Russell Wilson so bad. Yo, calling the BM is OD. That, I mean, it's like, that's Russell Wilson type behavior. But the thing is, he put himself in a situation because he's the guy that's playing stepdaddy, and he took a single mom seriously that has baggage. You don't want to take a single mom serious that has this type of baggage, meaning that a bad spoiled relationship with the baby father where he's like searching and looking for his son, and it can put yourself in a bad situation. It can put everything in a very toxic and, not so good situation, because the chick that you chose to take serious, she didn't wrap up her, her past situation too good. So that's bleeding over into your current relationship. And that's why most of the times it's like, if you're going to take a woman seriously that has kids, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it at all, especially if you don't have kids. But one of the reasons why you don't is because you don't really know the situation that she has with the kid's father, right? And only time could tell of that situation. But if the situation isn't good with, the real father, you could be in situations like this where you may have to put your hands on somebody. Imagine the stepfather knocking out the real father in front of the son. What? That's OD. Like, either way, it looks bad. In the son's eyes, I mean, if your real daddy knock out the stepdaddy, that looks better. You do not, as a son and as a father and as a kid that plays all roles, it's like, and as a father that plays all roles, it's like, yeah, I would not want to see my real father get knocked out. I wouldn't want to see my stepfather get knocked out either, but if I had to choose, like, one is my blood. I don't want my blood to get knocked out. This is crazy. Let's continue on.
You don't even got to see how.
Hey, bro, you going too damn. Hey, bro. I need all this little play.
Hey, she said I ain't in the phone.
Hey, bro, all right. I'm really showing you. You're going too damn much.
Yeah, all right. Out here. Hey,
like I said, watch over for the time.
Ain't your motherfucking son.
Hold on. Hey, Keisha.
Okay, he did say something. The stepdaddy said something like, hey, watch your mouth. But so it looks bad because, one, the stepfather ain't letting down, right? The stepdaddy, the dude I doubt is his real stepdaddy. I highly doubt he's married to this chick. This is most likely a chick that he's just smashing, and he may be living with the chick, which is why they're like cohabitating and he's taking care of this other man's son, but it isn't anything serious. It's like, this is the worst type of situations that you want to be in. Like, the worst.
Keisha. Hey, Keisha.
Oh, man. Listen, and her name is Keisha, chat. You know this is all bad. With a name like Keisha, one, you know she ratchet. She may have the cakes, though. That's why, you know, he in this situation and homie over there acting irate. But it's probably Keisha with the cakes. But regardless of the cakes, right? Be logical, man. Don't think with your logical brain. Think with your big head up here, not with your little head down there, man. Just the simple fact that her name is Keisha and she got kids and the baby father is acting crazy. Listen, if homie would have, let me replace it. Let's just say I'm in homie's situation, right? I would have been like, listen, man, you know what? You can go ahead and have these kids. Hey, man, go ahead and take her. Listen, you want Keisha back? Go ahead and take Keisha back. I was just hitting it for the time being because Keisha had the guap 3000 or the wet, something like that. I was just, you know what I mean, using that for recreational use only. And that's the thing, like, if you're just using it for recreational use only, it don't even bother you. You wouldn't even call up Keisha. Matter of fact, if you're just using it for recreational use only, you wouldn't even be in a predicament where you're taking another man's son to get a haircut. That wouldn't even happen. That wouldn't even happen at all. That's wild.
Hey.
And with the name like Keisha, probably deserves to be recreational use. Who knows? I don't know. It could be some Keishas in this chat that's has some standards and, a fairly decent woman. So let me not speak on all Keishas, but this Keisha is ratchet.
Hey, see up in here trying to take Sean with him.
You see how the dude was looking at him, got all up in his face, all swole? Oh, man, like he would have got beat up. Like dudes like this, bro, they get beat up fast because you're screaming, you're all up in my face. Why would you come this close? Thank you. An easy target. Back out. You going to sleep night. You gonna see me put Lil Billy gonna see his father sleeping. Oh yeah. Put a blanket over that nigga. Put a pillow under his head. He going to sleep.
What? You ain't clean there nowhere until you pay your child support.
What? Child support? That little bitty ass shit. I can pay that shit right now on God.
Do it then.
Oh, it gets worse. Okay. So let's unpack this more. He just called Keisha. Keisha told the stepdaddy, you're not taking your son until you pay child support. So here's what's going on here. You have the dude and the stepfather trying to regulate and create order in regards to the baby mother and the real father's relationship, which is crazy. Like, if I gotta play that position of being a mediator and relying a message back and saying, hey man, you can't take little Billy until you pay child support, that don't even make sense. Like, this is the worst position as a man you can be in. You are literally submitting to the woman. The woman runs the relationship, bro. She runs the relationship. Not only that, on the other hand of things, it's like, okay, and this is super, super ghetto anyway, because you got your baby father on child support. He came into the barbershop trying to take his kid. You are trying to control the situation over the phone call. Like, tell him that he can't take little Billy until he pays child support. The dude screams and says, that little itty bitty child support, I could pay that. You can tell he's a broke boy. He probably is way behind on all of his child support. That is true. But that doesn't mean he can't take his kid. He can't see his kid. Like, this doesn't really make too much sense how the woman over a cellular device is controlling two men. Think about this for a second. Think about it. Think about it, chat. Open up your mind. A woman on the other side of the phone is controlling two men. She has authority. Matter of fact, over two men and a boy. She has full authority over. She has full authority. They're listening to her. You got the one man calling for her approval. You have the other guy like, oh, like she's like a judge or something. Like she's like the president of the United States. This is crazy, bro. This is what I said in the beginning. Already I can tell that these are two weak men. Two weak men. One, the dude in the blue shirt, the stepfather, the fact that you would take a woman serious that has this much baggage, that's a single mom, it's like, why would you put yourself in this situation? Then the real father coming into the barbershop, acting extremely emotional, he's screaming just like a female, right? Two females is arguing with one another, basically. These are not two males, beta males, and the woman on the phone is running it all because some vagina. Like, dudes put themselves in this situation all because of vagina. Like, niggas, vagina. Like, you could get vagina elsewhere. Why are you stressing over how does this vagina has this much control over these two grown men? This is crazy. And this is part of simp, right? This is what you call simping right here. So you can tell that what the stepfather is doing, the role that he's playing on being the mediator and trying to regulate and trying to create some order on behalf of the woman's request and the woman's demand, there's no way she can reciprocate anything on her end that would be equal. There's no way. There's no way. I don't care what she does. She can be like, hey, it could be open on your end and closed on mine. It's not equal, bro. If I have to regulate you and your baby father and have things and to try to get right between, you and him and your son, there's nothing to reciprocate. And a simp is dealing with a woman and taking her serious and accepting that woman without her reciprocating anything on her end, or not anything, but just like the equal opposite equivalent. And in regards to this, there's nothing equal opposite or even equivalent to having to deal with this and playing the stepdaddy role. There's nothing even equal or equivalent to it. That's opposite. Nothing.
Shit out your ass.
Hey, take that back, man.
Hey, Keisha gonna really let this disrespect me in front of my mother son? With your thought ass?
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
Look, she acted. And I did tell you, and this is crazy, bro. We've created the world in our society with giving women this much authority without all of the responsibility. Like, they have women, you could say, like, I guess, the kid is with her, so she has some responsibility with taking care of the kid. But the authority part, like, and the only reason why she thinks that she has this type of authority is because she knows that the courts would favor her. And this is why, with the feminist movement, right? You get the feminist movement, they say, hey, listen, you could do battle by yourself. You're independent. You don't need a man. So these women think that she can really, and the thing is, she is. That's the crazy part. So you really can't blame it all on a woman, is because these niggas is beta. So she's actually getting away with it of being the authority figure in all of this. That's crazy. And, I do this podcast for a reason, because I need to instill it in men so they can understand their value. Why are you chasing vagina and you're not chasing success? Why are you dealing with a woman that isn't submitting to you or reciprocating on her end? Why are you dealing with a woman that has all of this baggage? Like, why would you take someone serious like that? So you have to understand your value. But these men most likely haven't created any value for them to understand. So there's two situations when it comes to men. You got men on one hand where they didn't create any value, meaning that they're not out there trying to be the best version of themselves and working hard to create more resources and, just be a man. So since they didn't create any value, there's nothing there to really understand. But then you have the dudes that do create some value. They go out there and they work real hard. They create value. and they still would tolerate a 304 like this. They still would tolerate a single baby mama 304 like Keisha. They would still tolerate with baby father drama. They would still tolerate this woman and accept it. You know why? It's because they view the woman as being more than them. They pedestalize the woman. They put a woman on a pedestal and they view themselves beneath the woman. And one of the reasons why they view themselves beneath a woman is because they made the woman their God. It's because of vagina. Niggas be horny. They don't know how to have any sexual temperance and not look at a woman just as sex. Oh yeah, the sex is so valuable. It's this and this, so I'll do anything for her. Bro, when you have that mindset, and let's be honest, it's usually something you have to overcome, because men, we have a natural proclivity, a tendency to just crave sexual attention from women. So when you do get a woman that's giving you a lot of sexual attention, it's like, oh, I got what I want. I have this urge and I can release with this one woman here. But so then you tend to like tolerate all of the woman's inadequacies and be in a position where you're like this stepfather right here. Let's play a little bit more.
Hey, call that. Hey, I'm getting my motherfucking son. We going. Hey, Mike, I appreciate you, but I need my son. I need my son. Hey, let's wrap this shit up. I need my motherfucking son, man. Give me my motherfucking son. Hey, don't give my son no more. I'm gonna shit out your ass. Yeah, all right. Yeah. You don't like him, man. All right. Let's go.
Really, bro? Come on, man.
Shit out your ass.
Come on, Russell. Was you letting him take? Hey, man, it's his son. It's his son.
Take his son. He said it's his son. It's his son. I ain't trying to fight. And you know what? Man, like he's gonna go right back to and you know, he is not his house that she lives in. It's her house that he lives in. And he's gonna go right back to her house. He's gonna go right back there. Right back and like, oh, Keisha, man, he was wilding out, but I handled it the best I could. Here's how it's gonna play out. Let me paint the scenario for you, chat. Here's how it's gonna play out. He's gonna be like, Keisha, so Tyrone, he came through at the barbershop, you know, when I called you and stuff, and I was trying to listen to you. Like you said, don't let him have your son. And I was really trying to listen and tell him like, yo, you can't take your son. But you know, what happened was he went ahead and grabbed his son, but you know, that's his son. So I didn't want to step in between that. You know, I ain't want to fight. Keisha gonna look at him like, oh my gosh, you a weak nigga, you a bit of this and this. How you just gonna let him take my son? How you gonna let him do that? That's my son. You ain't stick up for my son. How I know you really love me if you won't even protect my son? Keisha gonna put all of it on him. He not gonna get no box from Keisha tonight. Matter of fact, she gonna withhold sex for compliance probably until like he like lick her toes or do something weird again, or like gives her all of his money. That's the next time he'll probably get boxed. But what's gonna happen is Keisha, and it's not even manipulation. At this point, the things of Keisha's reaction, I do predict this is going to happen. I do predict this already happened. It's not even manipulation at this point because he chose to accept this. Like Keisha is going to react. She's going to get mad and she's going to blame everything on the dude that's playing stepdaddy. And he's going to be like, sorry, baby, I'll do better next time. He's just going to appeal to the woman's way and in hopes of getting some box soon. Bro, this is the weakest position as a man you want to be in. It's the weakest position as a man you want to be in. The weakest. And mind you, as a man that dates a woman that has kids, she's not a single mother because we're dating, it's like I've never experienced a situation like this. And even before I even took I have a kid. So I would never date I would never take a single mom serious at that age if I didn't have any kids. Like, not at all. 26 years old, no, I'm not taking you seriously. Recreational use only if I don't have any kids. But the fact that I have a kid, it's a little bit much different. And the reason why it's different is because you have to look at the woman's background. If the woman is displaying characteristic traits of not having her life in order and not actually coming from a life of order, I'll explain. So coming from a life of order, well, how were you raised? Who raised you? Did you come from a nuclear family? Did you have some fatherly guidance? Were you ever living on your own? Like chicks that live on their own, it's like, it's a little crazy. My chick was a little bit differently. She lived with her father, went ahead and then got married and moved on out. She did it that way, the traditional way of things. So, and not to compare my own anecdotal situation with this because it's extremely different, but I do want to give you guys some insight because I am speaking about a topic that, I'm not familiar with this drama, but I am speaking about a topic that you can say that, well, coolly, you have something similar in a way, a similar relationship dynamic, but it's extremely different. So the family that you come from is important. What values was instilled into you? Then not only that, what life is the woman? So that's her past life, right? You got to see if she comes from some good background. And Keisha, in his situation, you can tell Keisha probably came from a single mother home. You can tell Keisha probably came from a home where she did not even experience any type of male leadership or masculinity. So Keisha is void of, of a traditional way of thinking and living and accepting certain things. So it's like the fact that you get a man in this situation that accepts this. Some people in the chat probably like, man, this is sad that homie got to go through this. And you know what? It isn't sad because he accepted it. It isn't sad at all. He chose to be in this situation. And I didn't even know the whole time when I was switching to this camera, I wasn't in it. So let me move this over a little bit. He chose to be in this situation. So if you're going to take a single mom seriously, man, chat, take notes. If you're going to take a single mom seriously, certain things have to add up. One, even if you have kids, don't take her seriously. I'll tell you why. Most courts favor the woman. So most of the time, if you do have kids, you don't even have your kids full time. My situation is differently. I have my full custody of my daughter. So I have my kid full time. And only, I believe, 17% of custody battles, the men win and they get full custody. So that's only like 17% of men are going to actually have their kids full time. So generally speaking, even if you have a kid, you're not even really having your kid full time. You may be seeing little homie on the weekends or something like that, or every other week or every 2 weeks or something like that. You don't always have your kid with you. So therefore, you don't always have your kid, and you would take a woman seriously if you have a kid. It's not what value can she bring to you when you're barely having your kid, but you have to go ahead and take care of her kids, but you only have your kid once a weekend or, 4 times out of the month. Yeah. How can she really reciprocate? It isn't going to be anything reciprocal. So that's number one, rule number one. Rule number two of not to take the woman that has kids seriously is this situation right here, because, all right, like baby father drama. Rule number 3 is, well, how did she become a single mom? Was she just being promiscuous and being a 304? Well, you'll be accepting a woman with a checkered past. Well, past behaviors are a predictor for your future behaviors. So this would be a woman that's like a woman that's on a stripper pole. It's like a woman that has OnlyFans. It's like, you've done these promiscuous things before in the past. Why would I take you seriously? So that's rule number 3. Rule number 4. Bro. Forget. That was rule number 3. The only way to take them seriously is like, it has to be an exception. Things got to like match up almost perfectly. And you got your kid full time and you meet the chick and she got to come from a good background and she ain't promiscuous out there in the streets currently. Then it's like, still don't even do it. Have a roster of other chicks to cycle from that don't have any kids. And then whoever wins the race, that's the one you choose. And then if the single mom wins the race while you have your kid full time, then it's like, all right, maybe we could, I see you could bring in some real value here. Maybe I could take you seriously. But it generally, the general rule, you don't want to be this guy in a blue shirt that's playing stepdaddy. All right, let's see the last ending.
Yeah, he took it.
That haircut is crazy, man.
Oh, he ain't finished cutting the little kid hair.
Wow.
And the crazy thing is the baby father pacing, well, not the baby father, the dude that's playing stepdaddy, he's pacing back and forth. Like, bro, why are you so emotional? The father took the kid. You couldn't be superhero right now. You couldn't be Superman right now. And you know you about to go home. She's about to scream at you. Keisha's about to scream at you. And she's going to withhold sex for compliance probably for a long time. So sucks for him. All right, let's get into the next clip. This was a good clip. Good clip. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, here's the next clip. We got... Get the likes up, too. Don't be a ninja watcher. Get the likes up now. And actually, we got some people in here. Let me go ahead and run that intro real quick. I'm going to run an intro for y'all real fast, just so y'all can watch it. And actually, we got someone, AJ, in here to debate, so I'll bring him up after. Let's run this intro again for y'all. Let me know if y'all like it, because we got a lot more people in from the beginning. Here is the new intro. And y'all see the suit too, man. Listen, new studio, new podcast by the spirit, not by the letter. Bro, we can go verse for verse all day long.
Made over.
Doing new things. Men are okay with understanding the reality that we are in competition with one another. But you ladies think that you're special. You are in comfort. Men are men of their word. So here's my word. I'll fly you out here and we can do it in person. And after that, we can box. I'm about my business. So remember I said, when I ask you these questions, I will dismantle your entire argument. That's the end of the debate, my dog.
I'm 39, but I don't look your typical 39.
Belly.
Yeah.
You look 39. It's okay though. That man isn't intimidated by a woman like you. He's annoyed by a woman like you. Because a man doesn't want to date another man. He wants to date a woman. Yo, get the likes up. New intro.
No Fugazee.
Put a one in the chat if y'all like that intro, man. I just played it again a second time for y'all since the first time I played the intro was in the beginning of the podcast. We didn't have a lot of live viewers. So since we got more live viewers in here, I wanted to go ahead and play it for y'all again. So put a one in the chat if you like that intro. Put a two in the chat if you're like, Coolie, that intro was cool, but maybe you could do a little bit better. But that is going to be the new intro for the debate nights. And also for the girls show as well. That's the new intro. I hope y'all like that music too. I specifically chose that music in the background because it's just old school and it's like a theme. It's live. It's lively. It's lively. It's energetic. Okay, let's see here. Let's get to the next clip. Oh, no, I said I was going to AJ. Let me not forget. Oh, AJ left out. Okay, cool. I guess he'll come back and I'll bring him up later. All right, here's the next clip. Okay, no, AJ is back. All right, let's bring up AJ. I'm not sure who AJ is, but that's his name backstage. He's here to debate. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. State your name, where you from.
Hey, my name is AJ, and I'm from Egypt.
You said AJ, and you're from where?
Egypt.
Egypt. And you currently live in Egypt?
No, sir. I live in the United States. I've been here for 5 years now.
5 years now. Okay. And what are you here to debate about?
I'm really here to, I'm really here to get some ism and, get back with that video I just seen.
Okay.
You was just playing. Yeah, that's really the main thing that is breaking black communities around here. tolerating these kinds of behavior from women like that. You see, one thing I learned about the United States, you guys do not have strong communities. Where I've come from, when things like that happen, that is leaders in the villages that they bring and solve these kinds of problems where it don't become an issue at all. But I can tell this is more has to do like she come from a broken home. The way she think and act and behave, I can just tell she come from a broken home.
Well, yeah. In this video, the woman wasn't in the video. So we can say that the way that those men act and behaved, we can tell that they come from a broken home. That's what we can say for sure. Now with Keisha, we can only speculate, right? And we can give some good speculation in regards to Keisha because just to the simple fact her baby father is so irate and emotional and angry and seems to not be able to pay child support, meaning that he's most likely a broke boy. And due to the fact that with the clothes that he was wearing, it seems like he comes from poverty. So she chose a man that came from poverty, which would say that people tend to project, they tend to choose who they are. So I would have to think that Keisha also came from poverty as well because she chose to accept the man that came from poverty too. So, at the end of the day, we can only speculate on Keisha's behavior and what Keisha's background, but we can give some good speculation. In regards to those two gentlemen's behavior and how they act, they were both weak men and emotional men and betas. They were two men that yielded to the woman's authority. Now, shout out to the baby father at the end for just taking his son. He should have just did that in the beginning, right? He should have just did that in the beginning. Go ahead and take your son. You ain't got to argue with another man.
I wouldn't even take it there with him and say, "Give my son, I'm gone." I wouldn't even take it that far.
So where in Africa are you from?
I'm from Egypt. I'm originally
Egypt. You
my
said
family come from South Sudan, but yes.
Okay, South
Alexandria.
Sudan, but you're from Egypt. Okay, that is right. You did say that when you first came on. So you're from Egypt, and you said in
I'm born
Egypt.
and raised in Egypt.
Okay, and you said in Egypt something like this wouldn't even happen, meaning that you said a word like there would be a mediator or someone that comes in to ensure that this does not happen. Oh, village leaders. Okay, so there will be village leaders. And when did you live in Africa and how long?
I was born and raised there. I came to United States 2014.
Okay, 2014. So you were born and raised in Egypt. And how old are you?
I am 27 currently.
27. Okay, cool. All right, man. So, I mean, yeah, like, and what you said was accurate. You can tell that, here in America, we don't really have community because you said a community leader would come and handle that situation. But like, do you even think, because I'm not sure what the Egypt culture and stuff like that, I've heard Egypt is, the feminist movement definitely made their way into Egypt, but in regards to Egypt, do they have, would there even be a situation like this where a single mom could have this much authority over two men?
No.
It wouldn't even be that situation, right?
It wouldn't even get there, Cooley.
So in Egypt, let's say if a woman got knocked up or whatever, let's say a woman became a single mom, meaning that she broke up with the father and she's living on her own.
First of all, it won't happen because the way that the economy and things like that, men made it to where women don't have to work. Even if they wanted to work, they wouldn't work because of the work environment and all the judgment she gonna get from other men as well.
Okay, so there's not an environment where a woman can be independent, you're saying?
It depends. What do you mean by independent? Anybody can work. Anybody can, work and make money for the living. But the main question is, would be what the money for? Would it be for your family purpose or would it be for your own purpose? And that's what it comes down.
So yeah, what I'm asking you is, and I mean you came out here when you were 14. Do you ever travel back to Egypt or no?
No, I'm actually about to get my citizenship, so I'll be able to go back and forth.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, you haven't been out there for a while, but it seems like you got family out there and stuff like that to give you some insight on some stuff. So chat, I don't know if what he's saying is true or not, but so in Egypt, a single mom, would she have the ability to still like be self-sufficient as a single mom, as far as like being able to raise her child and work in a workforce to take care of, you know, her children? Is that possible?
Yes, it's possible, but what you need to understand is it won't be as you say in the United States.
Possible, but it's not probable. It's
yes,
not likely to happen.
Yes, it's like.
Okay, so what you're saying is most women that they would choose not to become a single mom. So if someone knocks them up or
to not work at all, they just choose to be wives.
Okay. So they'll just choose to stay with the baby father.
Yeah.
Hey man, that sounds like a good system.
The inflation. Think about it. When you think about Egypt, like it's really ran by Muslims. It's really ran by Muslims mostly. So, like, they really the rules the rules that they influence is like, is unbreakable.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not familiar with the culture in Egypt, so I can't verify this. I can only go by with what you're saying. From what I've thought that Egypt became very not woke, but they've indoctrinated feminism, which allowed women to have equal opportunity in the workforce, at least, which then if women have equal opportunity in the workforce, there's an incentive there for them to go ahead and leave a man based off of them not being happy and take their kid with them. But in Egypt, I'm guessing you're saying like the laws don't even favor the woman leaving the baby father. Okay, you froze there. All right, well, I'll go ahead and move on. Looks like he froze up. Let's get him up out of there. But good conversation. Thanks for coming in, AJ. Good convo. Not really sure what you said was truthful as far as the rules and regulations and the laws in regards to family courts and, single mothers and stuff like that. Not really sure. But if it is true, then dang, looks like that system is working pretty good. And the thing is, here in America, we incentivize the woman to excuse all of her bad behaviors because they have all of these other options. I'll explain. So instead of the woman taking accountability for her poor decisions, we actually, the government goes ahead and say, no, you don't have to be accountable for this. And guess what? I'll incentivize you if you don't love this man anymore, or if you're just not feeling the vibe, or if he cheated on you, or if I get into an argument or anything, I'll incentivize you to go ahead and leave. Just based off how you feel, you can go ahead and leave this man, and there's a high probability that the kids will go to you.
Yeah.
So the courts tend to favor the woman out here. So, and it's a stupid situation. It doesn't make any sense, is because what it does is, if the woman doesn't have any consequences for her poor decisions, then she will continue to just be promiscuous, sleep with men, have unprotected sex, get pregnant, and become a single mom. And then get pregnant by another dude and become two-time single mom. Get pregnant again. Like, I have these chicks on the podcast. One chick had 9 kids and 5 baby fathers. What? And she was 42, I believe, or 40-ish, 42 or 44. How you have 9 kids and 5 baby fathers coming on a podcast and still claiming that you're independent, you don't need a man, and that the man should pedestalize you with 9 kids and 5 baby fathers. So that means that you messed up 5 times. Not only, you messed up 5 times, but let's just think that's 5 bodies that we know. Think about all the in-between bodies. It's like, oh, filthy behavior. And that's what will continue, because we're human beings, man. Human beings will abuse a system or take advantage of the system if they can. So when you incentivize the woman to leave a man, when you, extract all of the consequences from the woman, meaning that if she wants to go out there and, be promiscuous, there's no consequences to it because 1, if she gets pregnant, she can abort the baby. 2, if she does decide to keep the baby, she can put the guy on child support. 3, there's so many things that there's so many different options to excuse the woman from consequences. There's so many options that the woman has so she doesn't have to take consequences. But for the man, it's much different. Every action that a nigga take is consequences. It's like every action. Every bad action, we're going to feel consequences. All right. Okay, let's bring up some more people. We got some people in here for debate night. Hopefully, we got some people in here that actually wants to debate. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. State your name and where you're from.
Hey, man, it's Rico from Houston. I'm not going to lie. I'm not here to debate, man. I'm just here to give you flowers real quick. I'm going to hop off. My life has changed since I've taken up to your ways, man. And I used to be that simp. My definition of being a man was just to provide, and not actually stand up for what you believe in. I started implementing some of your views, started being more firm on where I stood and my boundaries. We ultimately ended up splitting, but my life has, my dog, there's no more toxicity. I'm thriving as a man. I'm paying attention to myself more, but I can go on forever about just right now, talking to you right now, bro. I didn't even expect to hop on the stage right now, but hey, keep doing you. Peace.
Yo, man, I appreciate the love and I appreciate the support and the kind words, man. It means a lot, brother. It means a lot. Homie just hopped on, really just wanted to show love. And you know what? You got to appreciate that, man, because I've been doing this for 2.5 years now, garnered a lot of attention in the YouTube podcast space and a lot of respect in the YouTube podcast space. And listen, man, you're seeing right there that it's paying off, meaning that, what I'm preaching, it's actually helping people change their lives and give them a different perspective to value themselves more. Because, at the end of the day, when we... I could go real deep on things, but let me see. We got someone else in here, and I'll chat with you guys a little bit more. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. State your name, where you from.
Sick Cat from Brooklyn.
Sick Cat, what's going on, man?
Nothing. So the young man from Egypt, I think he was trying to talk about men setting the standard, regardless of the religion, if it's probably Hindu or Muslim. They set the standard. I could give you an example. Afghanistan. We went to war with Afghanistan, trying to do like a regime change. It seemed like it didn't work because, as you can see, the women over there, they covered from head to toe. And immorally, if they break the law, they get stoned. But not just the women. Women, majority get stoned, but the men also get stoned too. So they put weak men in their place. That's one. So in America, we don't set the standard. The government don't set the standard. So I feel that it's not just women to blame. If you give women enough rope, they'll hang themselves. And weak men don't like alpha men. And when alpha men set the standard, they change the rules for pussy. I'm just being honest. They change the rules and make the rules weak. And I feel it's not just the women's fault. I think it's the men's fault. So that's what I see in Afghanistan right now, because there's no regime change over there. And I see like, if you break anything immorally, the law, they'll stone you or they'll publicize your killing.
Yeah. So I get what you're saying. You're saying that there's consequences for your poor decisions in other countries, based off of, culture, expectations and stuff like that. That makes sense. And over here in America, it's like the man experiences all the bad consequences, but the woman, there's like no consequences for the woman. Like, women can lie on men and just say that, oh, he hit me. Oh, he did this. It's like, it is crazy, man. So, I get what you're saying, bro. I get what you're saying. So you're familiar with the what the African brother was saying then?
Right. They set the standard
based off of the culture.
The culture,
and you were
being
comparing that
shameful.
to Afghanistan.
Well, Afghanistan is very extreme, but I can understand, but I won't be so extreme where they can't leave the house without a man. The media, the women that does media, they cover from head to toe. Immoral laws is broken from like adultery and stuff like that. They'll kill you. If you steal, they'll chop your fingers off. Those things are a little bit more extreme, but sometimes I could just understand it because human nature, if you give them rope, not just women, just human nature alone, you give them rope, they hang themselves.
Yeah. That's true. Like there's an old saying, it goes, the way a woman brings a strong man in is by saying, help me.
Right.
The way a woman destroys a strong man or a powerful man is by saying, he hurt me. So it's like when we created a society where, once again, there's not really any, consequences for the woman's poor decisions. It's always being excused because there's either there's a system that's in place that incentivizes them based off men enforcing these rights and these laws to excuse the woman from their consequences, like family courts favor women, etc., divorce courts favor women, etc., all that type of stuff. Child support courts favor women in general. So women can just go ahead and act how they want without even like, and the thing is they know like, well, I could just go ahead and talk back to him crazy because if he hits me, he's going to jail. Like, I know that he won't even think about hitting me because he's going to jail because there's going to be other men that's going to protect me. So They have this over-sense-inflated ego where they think that they can just act like children without any consequences for their poor decisions. And at the end of the day, it's like, over here on this side of the internet, nah, man, we hold women accountable for their poor decisions. Promiscuous women, we hold them accountable. Women that's taking advantage of men in many different ways. Women that's lying on men, we hold them accountable. Because if the courts don't favor men, what we can do is shame them. Shame them.
Right. So
I'm all for shaming them.
So let me ask you a question. You ever seen Survivor? I saw an example of this. This had nothing to do with the law, but I saw an example of this where in Survivor, the men was versus the women, and the women was losing every competition, right? But they was getting voted out, and they was like, damn, we getting voted out. So what they did was they told the weak man that was under the alpha man that was making things happen on that side, they said to them, listen, at the end of the day, you're going to get voted out. So why don't you just come over here? Once they went over there, they started, giving them illusion of little flaunting and flirting and making them feel secure. And then once they, as a group, voted out the alpha men, then the women they voted out the weak men, and then they won the Survivor Series. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's how it is. Example in law and who sets the standard. So my question to you, one question is,
yeah, sure.
What do you see relationships in America in the next 5 and 10 years? Where are we going from here?
I mean, in the next 5 to 10 years, I don't see that, feminism isn't going anywhere because women are in the workforce. So we live in a deregulated sexual marketplace, right? So prior to feminism and women entering the workforce and getting higher education and stuff like that, the sexual marketplace, it was a regulated sexual marketplace because in order for a woman to be promiscuous without the town knowing, well, she would have to leave that town, right? So it means that she would have to have some resources to go ahead and leave that town. But now the woman can be promiscuous just by posting a thought picture online, and she'll garner some attention from an NBA player or an athlete and stuff like that. So the marketplace with feminism and with the internet and dating apps and stuff like that, social media, it allowed the woman to have more options than they ever had before. Not just like, I'm talking about all women, like below average women have more options than high status men. So with that being said, these women, they conflate sexual value with relationship value. There's a lot of men that just want to smash these chicks, but they're not looking to wife them up. But what it does is, in the woman's subconscious, they think that they're a 8, but they're really a 4. So they'll disqualify men that they should be taken seriously, but they disqualify those men because they think that, oh, I'm an 8. I'm not going to talk to this average guy. So then what'll happen is they'll smash some guys that have some high status, but those guys would never take them seriously. But then they'll be older. And when they get older and their value drops, and they're single, living with cats and dogs, and maybe even a single mom because they got knocked up by one of these guys, then then two things will happen. Either they have to lower their standards and get with an average guy and create some type of family, or they'll just stay single and continue to rack up body counts and complain about men. So that's what's currently already happening. And what I do think in a deregulated sexual marketplace, what we're living in now, I think that will continue if we don't make any changes to certain laws and putting consequences on women. So consequences meaning that, forget about the promiscuous stuff, right? But the consequences as far as abortion, right? Like, the woman can sleep around and do whatever, but she can just abort her baby. Let's think about the courts favoring the woman. Okay, let's think about women that don't want to have abortions and stuff. Well, then, okay, I can sleep around if I get pregnant by him, but a few months later or a few years later, I figure out that I don't want to be with him because my feelings change. I'll just go ahead and leave him, and I'll take my son or my daughter, and then I'll go ahead and put him on child support. Or I'll go ahead and put him on alimony, because all of these systems favor the woman. So I think that it will get worse if we don't have some reforms happening within the systems, within family courts, within divorce courts, within custody battles, within child support and stuff like that. So, the thing that isn't, real quick, that's the stuff that we actually, I think that it can change. The things that isn't going to change is all of the contraceptives that women have to be promiscuous.
Right. So,
and I also think that the shaming factor isn't going to change either, meaning that women is always going to have this sisterhood behind them to say, go ahead. You doing good, girl. You single, you independent, girl. Go ahead and get the bag, girl. Chase your career. Go ahead and do this. I think that little sisterhood of women is never going to change unless, we have some system changes or men collectively come together and, put their foot down. But that isn't going to happen because there's too many betas.
Right. So where I'm seeing is, since there's so many betas and there's so much more losers than winners, I see having kids. We already see that's proof. That's on the decline. Marriage is on the decline. So what I see for the future for men and women is synthetic humans. I mean, we could debate on that some other time, but
I'm just honest. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Humans, so sex bots or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. And
it's natural selection. Those men that can't parabond with a woman or whatever, and that's going to be the majority of them. This is the beginning of the end, and I think the robots are taking our jobs. They're going to take our relationships. Now, I might be wrong, but being 53 years old and I'm seeing decade from decade relationships and parabonding and marriage and not having kids, I could see how this is going.
It can happen. Yeah, you can see how it can. So in the next 5 to 10 years, I don't see that happening. But within the next, I would say 30 to 50 years, if it stays on the same path, I think for sure that would be exactly what you said would come about. I would say maybe even 20 to 40 years, but 5 to 10, I don't think sex bots would be as prevalent as men. I don't think men would be like, you know what, I'm just going to stop watching Pornhub and sex bots is going to sell out. I don't think the sex bots is going to sell out in 5 to 10 years.
In Japan, it's going on, In Germany, they have sex brothels with synthetic humans already. The only thing these sex bots can't do is get in position, sit down, and stuff like that. But once it is, they have the
What?
synthetic skin. No, I'm just saying they have the synthetic skin. They got everything already.
Homie done
But
research this. Like, man, they can't get
no,
in
no.
position, but you got to put them there, and they just sit there, and then you got to go ahead and get busy. But she's not going to get in position.
Yeah, well, this is what's going on. This is the
Fair
thing.
enough.
And I'm gonna say one more
Hey,
thing.
real quick, Sit Cap. Real quick, to Danielle, I seen you came up backstage, Danielle. Go ahead and I'll bring you on up right after this discussion with Sit Cap. I seen you backstage come in, Danielle, so don't be scared. You came in, but you went out. Your camera was on, so I seen you. If you want to go ahead and join the discussion, debate, or anything, go ahead and come on back up. But go ahead, Sit Cap, I'll go ahead and leave you to the last word, and then we're going to close up as far as this conversation.
You say probably 20 years. I say 5 to 10 because AI is on quantum. They moving with quantum leaps, and this is moving fast. Within 6 months, you got VO3. You got these videos where it looks so real. Okay, so I see it moving faster than that. 5 to 10 years, and bro, we have arguments and discussions, but I like you, bro. Everything is good, man. And remember, I will come and debate you, and we're gonna have more arguments. It is what it is.
Fair enough.
But
And
keep
yeah,
doing
man,
your thing, man.
appreciate it, man. And I don't take those things, we've had many debates before. I don't take them personal.
Yeah.
I'm not an emotional man. So appreciate you, man. A good convo.
All right. Take care, bro.
Yeah, that was Sit Cap. We've had many, heated debates, and I've defeated them easy victories. But, I'm a rational male, so you could still come on up and ask questions, even though a debate is heated, because I'm not truly attacking you, but I'm attacking the things that you're saying. So, and that's what females do. Females, girls, bro, they'll go ahead and I witnessed it. Even my daughter is 13 years old now. I witnessed it. She forgot one of her friend's birthdays, and that caused the whole problem. I'm like, wait, what? And I had to let her know, cause she kind of like me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as far as not like me in that sense, she's super, super girly girl. But as far as the whole birthday thing, yeah, she remembers her friends' birthdays, but this one particular friend she happened to forget. And I guess the friend got mad and was like, "Oh my gosh, you don't really care about me. You forgot my birthday." And it was like this whole little fit that they got into. But I say all of that to say that as a man, we don't have to, it could be one of my homies. We don't got to speak for 2 years. But if we get on a phone call, it's going to be like we ain't speak for 2 minutes. It don't matter if we miss birthdays, if we missed your child being born, we still going to connect and not hold any animosity because, we missed something. We don't put our emotions, we're not that emotionally invested into things, right? We are practical about it. So, but with women, it's like, man, listen, man, you got a friend, you miss her birthday, or you got a friend and you just can't make it to some event, she gonna be pissed off and it's gonna cause drama in the relationship, and the drama may never end either. All right. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. State your name, where you from. You live with No Fugazee Podcast. State your name, where you from.
I'm Danielle. Can you hear me?
I could hear you, Danielle. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I could hear you.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Guys.
Say yes.
Mm-hmm. I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me. Okay, perfect. And welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. And where are you from?
Thanks. I'm from Marrero, Louisiana. It's about 10 minutes away from New Orleans.
Okay, cool. So there must be a delay between us when we're communicating. So when I speak, just give 2 minutes to reply. And when you speak, give not 2 minutes, 2 seconds to reply after we're both done speaking. So what I want to go ahead and say here is, are you here to debate or here to talk about a discussion? Talk about a topic.
I had a question, and I do want to say that I kind of prayed that I'll be on your podcast because I found you early this year, and I really liked the way that you and your co-host would put a lot of these women in their place, because we need that. We need to be held accountable, and I do appreciate you and your perspective with that. So I'm not going to say I manifested it, but I'm happy that I'm here.
Hey, well,
Um,
I appreciate you for coming, Danielle. I do appreciate you for coming. And you know, it's crazy. I was about to call you Keisha because we reacted to that clip. I was about to call you Keisha. I don't know, Chad, if y'all seen the key came out. My bad, Danielle, my bad. But yo, listen, I do appreciate you for joining the stream. Is there a specific topic that you wanted to talk about?
I just wanted to say it's really not always the women who. So, for example, I just had a baby, and me and the guy,
Oh, that's what
he
you
did
rocking
say
your
at
baby right now.
first he didn't want a relationship. Yeah,
Okay, don't put the baby in the
he
screen
didn't want a
because of YouTube
relationship,
purposes, but you're
and
good.
okay, and I said, okay, that's fine. I went along with it. I wouldn't pressure him for anything, and then we started to see each other a little bit more. He moved in with me, and we were doing the dating thing. Started to see signs that he was kind of weaning away, and I didn't want to get rid of my baby. I was happy. When the baby came, and 2 weeks later, I think he kind of folded under pressure, and he left. So he just left me with the baby, and I just want to say it's really not always the women. Sometimes it is the man. He just, I feel like he just ran away. He wasn't ready.
Okay. Danielle, let me ask you a question. So, do you think, well, since you're speaking about your personal life, then I guess I'll ask a question about it personally instead of generally. So, before you said you were dating this man, and when you were dating him, you did say that he didn't want like a serious relationship, right? He just wanted to
Yes.
like have sex with you. Is that right? Okay.
No.
So,
I would say
okay,
he was
no. Okay, go ahead.
enjoying more of the
Explain that.
conversation. Sorry. I would say we were on the phone. We were talking before we actually started to link up. We would talk more. We would go out to places before he actually came to the house. And I think it was more just conversation first, and then I would say it was sexual. But after we together, it kind of changed. He would tell people, "Oh, this your cousin. This might be your auntie," and he would lead me on in those kind of ways. Just like, okay, well, maybe he changed his mind.
Okay, so let me just get this right, because I like to speak very direct, and also for the audience can have a clear description of your current situation or past situation. So you were speaking with the child of your father, and you were having sex with him. Now, he would say little things where you thought it was a serious relationship, like saying, "Oh yeah, this gonna be your auntie." Like he would bring you around family and stuff, where he made you think that it was a serious relationship. But my question for you: did both of you two ever agree that you're in a relationship, that you're boyfriend and girlfriend? Yes or no?
Yes, he made a passing comment about it. Yes.
Okay, so but it wasn't direct. It was very indirect.
Yeah,
It was indirect. Now, during that time, how long did that last for?
Did what last for?
How long were you dealing with him before you had your baby?
We were seeing each other maybe about 8 months.
Okay, so 8 months you were seeing him. And during this 8 months, did you ever cohabitate? Was he staying with you or were you staying with him?
He stayed with me.
Okay, so he was staying with you. So, okay, so what I get from your situation and what I'm understanding here is that you chose to have unprotected sex with a man that didn't display characteristic traits of being a father, a leader, or even being some type of protector and provider. Do I have that accurate, or did you see some characteristic traits of that?
I don't want to admit it, but yes, I did see that he didn't want those things. So the first thing you said, I do. I didn't want to admit it, but yeah, I didn't see any of that.
Okay. Okay, so you didn't see any of that. So here's the part that accountability comes into place, because you said that it's not always the woman's fault. You know, men do just up and leave, right? But the part that you do understand, right? You chose, there's many guys that you can choose from, Danielle. As far as having sex with, there's many guys that you can choose from as far as having sex with, right? But the man that you chose to have unprotected sex with displayed characteristic traits of not being a protector and a provider, to the point where your cohabitation situation, he would stay with you rather than you stay with him, right? Now, if there's a relationship dynamic, a man that is, being self-sufficient and, really out there getting it, he has his own place, and normally the woman would stay with him. Now, I don't recommend cohabitation. I don't recommend that. But if you are going to cohabitate, as far as a man being masculine and showing some type of characteristic traits to maintain his own place, the woman, it would make more sense if the woman was staying with him. But the fact that he stayed with you, it tells me that, well, one, he didn't have his own place, or two, his place that he was living in wasn't that comfortable to bring a female around, so he chose to go to your place. Which both of those options tells me that he doesn't have the resources to provide for you, and especially provide for your child. So the accountability comes in a place where it's like, you have to accept that you chose to open up your legs and to have a kid by this man. Now, he up and left. He dipped off. You can't blame him, because you just stated there that he even told you that he ain't want nothing serious with you. He ain't want no baby or none of that. And he went ahead and checked out once it came about. So once you went ahead and had the baby and everything, he did exactly, think about this, Danielle, he did exactly what he told you he was going to do. So with hearing the truth from another male's perspective, what's your thoughts on that?
It's something that I don't want to hear. It's something that I knew, but man, or they can stay around and maybe he will change for them. I knew it, and I'm okay with hearing the truth. I just thought maybe it'll be different. That's all.
Okay, you thought maybe it'd be different with him.
Yeah. After a while, we started to do things, and he showed me. Yeah, I just thought it was going to change, but obviously it didn't. So.
And Keisha, let me ask, did you have an example of a masculine father figure when you were being raised? Did you have an example? Did you come from a home with both of your parents, or no?
You finally called me Keisha, but no, I
I'm
didn't.
sorry. You know what? It's probably for good reason why I'm calling you Keisha right now, because you resembled a chick that was over the phone regulating the baby father and the stepfather. Nah, let me stop. Those are jokes. I'm sorry, Danielle. I'm sorry. Keisha is fresh on my mind, and god dang, you do. You know what? I may be speaking to Keisha.
I'm
Are
not
you the
saying
chick
that.
from the video? No, I'm messing with you. I'm joking. So
No, I
my
didn't
question.
have I didn't have a
Go ahead.
father figure growing up. Not
Okay.
really. No, I didn't.
Got it. So you didn't have a father figure. So you didn't have an example of a man and also a relation dynamic to learn from. I have that correct.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. So, and this is what happens sometimes, right? So, being raised in a single mother home, the children does not have an example of a good relationship, how a man and a woman's relationship, that dynamic, how it's supposed to happen. But not only that, the daughter doesn't have an example of a man to look at, right? Meaning that if she had a father that was masculine, that gave her a comfortable life, that treated her mother good and respected her mother, and she's seen the way her mother submitted to her father, and she's seen the way her father loved her mother. If the daughter sees that dynamic and how the father is manly and a protector and a provider and holding down the household, the daughter is more likely to be able to discern, right, to make good judgment when she meets a man that does not display characteristic traits of her father, right? So this happens all the time. Women at certain ages that have a father, they're like, oh, wait, you don't have forget the job, forget the materialistic things, right? In order to get the material stuff, what comes before you go out there and make the money? The characteristic traits, the person themselves. So what's in you? What do you have in you? What's the driving force behind the man that made the money? The driving force is the character. So there's certain characteristic traits of a leader, of a masculine man, of a protector, and a father of a man that would be a good father to his mate. And some of those, I'll just give a few of them, but some of those characteristic traits is like being decisive, having the ability to make a decision, having integrity, meaning being a man of his word. He says he's going to do something and he actually does it. Whatever he says, he actually does, right? Because if you're operating like that and you're doing exactly what you're saying, if you're decisive instead of indecisive and you're able to make a decision, well, then you're able to go out there and work hard and get a job and stay consistent at it, right? Other characteristic traits of masculinity would be a man that's congruent and also a man that has this backbone about himself. He's intolerant of certain things. There's things that he's tolerant of, but then there's things that he's intolerant of. And his friends know, his family knows, and the woman that he has around him, they all know. This, when it comes to David, you can't do this or you can do that. Everybody knows, and he never changes. It's like, it's an unchangeable frame around him that's unchangeable. And when a man has that, well, you know that man, that's that masculinity right there. The woman's emotions can't change him. Just because, oh, I'm emotional, and, she tried to use emotional manipulation to get him on her side, that's not going to change him. He's still going to stay stoic and hold his ground, meaning that he's not going to acquiesce his behaviors towards a woman. The woman, if she wants to get on his program, she would have to acquiesce her behaviors to him. So what I'm saying is, when a girl is raised with a father and she sees this relationship dynamic, like, mommy doesn't always get her way, but the things that mommy does get is she earned it. Also, and there's for good reason. And the love that mommy is showing daddy, well, he earned it because look how we're living. Look, there's food in the refrigerator. So you see that things are being reciprocated, right? So women, they always want things, but they don't get everything that they want, and they shouldn't get everything that they want from a man, is because it has to be earned. Unless it's earned, then you get it. And I think that the daughter and the son is good for them to see that. right? Like, okay, if I want this, I have to actually be this type of person to get that, right? And then they see that the father, oh, we are living good, the house is good. So there's a reason why mommy is submitting to daddy. There's a reason why mommy is submitting to daddy. There's a reason why daddy is loving on mommy, because mommy is following daddy's lead. So when she gets out there and she's dating the man that doesn't exhibit these certain characteristic traits of her father, she's going to be like, yeah, it's not for me. But when you're being raised in a single mother home, you have no example of that. And sorry, I'm going on a little rant here, chat, but I want to give Danielle some game. When you're raised without a father figure, you have no example of that. And you tend to accept the things that you are. Rewind it back, Danielle,
Okay.
so it makes sense.
No,
you
I
tend to
heard
accept
everything.
who you
I heard
are.
everything.
Okay, let me know your thoughts.
Right. I agree. I agree with that. And I want to say that I've come to an understanding of that. And I'm not blaming anyone. I accept that. But my thing is, I'm not sure how to choose. Even though you did say you accept who you are, I feel like I don't know much. So when I am going through different guys and trying to make things, work out the way that I would imagine, or I imagine it being, like you said, it just doesn't work out. And it's kind of hard now for me because I'm 32 years old and I feel like I don't have that. And I'm still out here making a decision, just trying to be picked, trying to be wifey material, but I can't do that without that male guidance instilled in me. You're right. You're right.
Yep, and one of the ways, because like, I mean, I can give you some advice here and say, and you're a supporter of the podcast, so I'm not coming down on you. You're being open. You're also being receptive. You're also being respectful, and you're also being receptive as well to information. So to give you some advice, I can give advice two ways. I can give advice and say, you know what, Danielle, you need to go out there and, since you understand this truth and you know it's going to be a little bit harder for you dating, you need to try to become the best version of yourself. Get in the gym, get that waist tight. Now you just had a baby, so I know the baby seems pretty young. How old is your baby?
She's 2 months.
God dang, Danielle. Matter of fact, Keisha. No, you Keisha. Matter of fact, Keisha. 2 months. This is fresh.
No, listen, I'm not saying that I want to get out of anyone. I'm speaking on before I even got pregnant and when I was with this guy, and before that, I already identified my problem was daddy issues. I knew that. Yes, and I'm saying I'm not looking for nobody to date right now. I'm hoping me and that's what I want. I want us to be a family, like you said, in general.
So, yeah, let me give you the reality. Like, men, in most cases, we do not leave women. We don't, generally speaking, there's something in a man that when he gets with a woman and he's having sex with the woman, he has this territorial view in that relationship where it's like, that woman is mine. Let me ask you a question. Every man, you could just say yes or no. Did every man that you had sex with in your past, did all of them at some point say, yeah, this pussy is mine? Yes or no?
No.
You said no.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, the point that I was making, right, is men, it's something in us. When we get a woman and the vagina is good, the relationship could be okay. we don't want to just get rid of that. That's why, men don't really initiate divorces, because when we start taking a woman any bit of serious, we tend to stay with that woman and we tend to try to work it out. That's what happens. In regards to your situation, because I want to give you a reality check here, you're hoping that you and your baby father will get back together. And you know what? I hope that too. But living in reality, the hope is extremely low because he left you. And men don't normally leave women, right? Now, you may have it in your head. You may have this perspective, this perception in your head like, well, he was telling me certain things and we did have good times in our relationship. Well, dudes say anything to continue to have sex with you. That's what they do. They'll say anything to continue to have sex with you. And not only that, they'll have sex with you raw too, because having sex raw feels better, right? So if you leave a man to his own devices, he's going to say whatever and do whatever to keep having sex with you. And he'll choose to have unprotected sexes because these is the man, you set no boundaries, right? You set no boundaries. You had no discernment when you chose the man to have sex with. You excuse all of his red flags. I say all of that to say that I think it's a very low probability that he'll ever see you in that way and that he'll take you serious. I think that it's best for you to move on and understand that reality. I truly do. Because even if he does accept you back, you've already agreed and stated here that he's not the man to even have, he doesn't have the characteristic traits of a man that will be a good father or a protector and a provider for you. So even if you do take him back, it's like a lose-lose situation. You don't got him there, but if you do take him back, it's like, God dang, he gonna just be another nigga that's just living under my roof.
Well, can I just
go ahead?
Say, I didn't mean it as if that's not what he doesn't do. I didn't see it in the beginning. I mean, I seen it in the beginning because he said it, but I thought that he would change. He said it. That didn't mean that he wasn't that kind of man. I didn't think that. But also I want to say to you that it's hard to admit, but I didn't have those boundaries and I should have. And that's really a hard truth for me to come to and accept. But I have to now because I have a daughter. And maybe I needed to hear it from another man and, be held accountable about it. So, yes.
Okay.
I did
so
want to
here's,
clear that first
here's,
part.
okay. No worries. Thank you. So here's two things. Like I was saying before, two pieces of advice. One of the advice is like, okay, go out there, this is all fresh. So your baby is only 2 months. You're still in postpartum. Your stuff down there hasn't even healed. So yeah, you right now are in a situation where, at the end of the day, if you're thinking further ahead, you want to go out there and just try to be the best mother you can right now as a single mom. And you also want to try to put yourself in a position where you can still develop as a person yourself, right? Character development. And a lot of character development, I know you can't work out now, but whenever you can work out, hit the gym, start working out, because a strong body will be a strong mind. So start working out, hit the gym, get in good shape. As you get in good shape, you'll feel better. You'll treat your kid better. It'll just be a good relationship dynamic. The one piece of advice that I would say, you can try to work things out with your baby father. I would say try. Don't just fully give up. Well, what I'm saying is I don't really see it happening because he left you. There's a low probability, but let's hope that it does happen, right? So let's say that he does choose to get back with you. Let's hope that he chooses to get back with you and you guys have a good relationship and he happens to be a protector and a provider and a good man and a good father. That's what we hope for. Is it possible? Yes. But is it probable currently right now from what you told me? No, I don't think it's probable. The other piece of advice is this, though, thinking more further ahead. To really get through this, you want to go ahead and understand, which I do think that you do understand, that you didn't come from, you didn't have an upbringing of a nuclear family and experiencing a father's love like that. So you didn't have an example of a man. What you still can do is accept the truth that, hey, you came from something that's broken. Accept the truth that you are on No Fugazee podcast right now and you get in some game. Accept and when you accept all of this truth, the only path is through. And as you're going through, you have to forgive your mother and forgive your father, because that's how you really actually overcome. I'll repeat, one of the ways to overcome, Danielle, right, this mental state that you're in and that it seems like you're going to continue to be in too, because you don't know what the situation will be with the baby father because it's too fresh. Go back and forgive your mother and go back and forgive your father as well. Forgive your mother and forgive your father. You got to do that. And when you act, not just forget, no one's talking about forget, like actually forgive them. Like, I know you did the best that you can do, and I'm not holding you accountable for me choosing this man. You don't want to hold your family, your father or your mother accountable. Like, oh, well, I wasn't raised in a nuclear family, so this is why I choose this man that went ahead and got me pregnant and left me, right? So you want to forgive them. That's step number one of moving forward. Once you forgive them, I think a lot of things will come in line. What's your thoughts on that, on forgiving your mother and forgiving your father?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you good, yeah.
Okay, so I've already come to that conclusion with my pastor, at church. I have to forgive my mother and my father for things to go well in my life. So I do agree about that. I'm not playing the victim about, this happened with my baby daddy and me. I want to be held accountable to one about it. I do. So I agree with you. I do. I do.
Okay. Well, the thing is, when you first came in, you said that, well, it isn't always the woman's fault. And then you went and explained. So it seems that you were trying to escape accountability. But I had to will you back in and bring you to reality that you hold the key to sex. So you had full authority. So you had full responsibility. And since you determine who is, the man doesn't have any reproductive rights, the woman has all of the reproductive rights. So you are the determining factor. You have the choice to decide to bring a kid into this world or to not bring a kid into this world. And I am not for abortion. I'm not saying that. I'm going before that, right? Like having unprotected sex with a man that isn't worthy of being a father, right? And not only just having unprotected sex with them, why would you even have protected sex with a man that's unworthy of being a father? Like, you got to take it steps back to see, like, oh yeah, I really went wrong. Like, one, I gave the dude my number because it starts there. Well, did he even, okay, that could be shaky. I went on multiple dates with the man. Did he exhibit any characteristic traits of being a good man and a protector and a provider before I even gave box to him, before I gave him sex? So before you give a man sex, he has to, because it's a condom could pop, right? Anything could happen, right? Sometimes the birth control ain't strong enough, especially if you messing with a Spanish dude. Man, Spanish people, birth control don't even work with them. They get pregnant just by looking at them. I think I opened up a door for this Spanish woman the other day, and her belly started to grow. I'm like, oh, that's not my baby. I'm like, God dang, you get pregnant fast. I'm joking. I say all of that to say is you could have took many different steps to avoid all of this happening. But forget about the past, focus on the future. The future, You already said that you forgave your mother and your father, so that's good. You're already watching this type of content, so that's good. So you're not like living in delusion land. So at the end of the day, I got hopes for you. I hope that you do work it out with your baby father, and I hope that he does step up to the plate and become a better man for you and your child. That's what I do hope. But I'll go ahead and leave it there. Any questions for me? Any other questions for me, Danielle?
No, I appreciate all of your feedback. I knew I was going to get the hammer from you. I just didn't expect to kind of get emotional about it. But nope, that's it. I was happy to join your podcast for once in my life, and that's it. Thank you for having me.
And Danielle, you should have joined the podcast. You only been with the nigga for 8 months. You should have joined the podcast for a year and a half ago. You probably would have not even talked to dude. Look, think about it. This podcast could have saved you.
Good.
All right. Well,
We was good.
I'll go ahead and let you go, Danielle. Thank you for joining the stream. Thank you for the support. And I do truly, genuinely wish that you and your baby father work something out. That's what I hope. That's what's best for the kid, and that's what I hope for both of you. Okay. But really listen.
Thanks. See you later.
Whenever you can start working out, start working out. Hit the gym. Like immediately hit the gym.
Gotcha.
Stop drinking, stop cussing, don't smoke. I don't know if you do these things. Like just any vices that you have, don't do any of those vices because that's not good for the kids anyway. But yeah, anyways, that's all I got for you. Have a blessed one. Appreciate the support.
Thanks.
Hey, chat. Dang. We had a real Keisha join the stream. We had a real Keisha join the stream. And actually, let me go ahead and close down the Facebook stream. Everybody on Facebook that's tuned in, come on over to YouTube. That's No Fugazee Podcast on YouTube. Come on over to YouTube right now. We are closing down a Facebook stream now. All right. So went ahead and closed down a Facebook stream. We are currently only live on YouTube right now. Got some people backstage. We got Mr. Ricade. I think I'm pronouncing it right. But he's backstage. I'll go ahead and bring you up shortly. But quick reaction to the last caller. It's funny how it played out. So one of the clips that the supporters sent in, it was of a single mother and a dude playing stepfather and the baby father. And it was a lot of drama amongst the three. And I hope this doesn't turn into Keisha's situation, but you know what? I don't think it will because the dude that, I said Danielle, I hope it doesn't turn into Danielle's situation because the dude that Keisha was taking seriously, the dude that Keisha chose to have a baby with, it seemed like he wanted her back. That's what it seemed like. It seemed like he was a salty man. He was salty and he wanted her back. But in Danielle's situation, man, it don't even look like he want anything to do with Danielle or the little baby currently right now. Hopefully that changes, but at the end of the day, if I view it from the male's perspective, obviously there was something there within Danielle's relationship with the man that she chose. Two things here. And Danielle, if you're watching, pay attention. The first thing is your baby father just had you in recreational use only, and then he happened to knock you up. It was by mistake, but he wanted nothing to do with you. And I think that was the situation because you did say yes, that he told you that he didn't want a serious relationship with you and that he didn't want a kid. So it seems that he had you in sex zone, and in your mind, you thought it was a relationship, but no, it was just recreational use only. So, you know, that's how things tend to play out sometimes. But within that dynamic on his part, like, guys, bro, like if you're not going to take and that's the thing of being promiscuous as a man and having unprotected sex and sleeping with women out here, because you may mess up and knock a chick up that you don't want to take serious. So on his part, it's like, come on, bro. Don't be that guy. Don't be Danielle's baby father, and don't be Keisha's baby father, because don't be smashing these chicks that you, if the condom breaks, if anything happens, if you're not going to take her seriously, don't be clapping them cheeks raw, bro. Don't be smashing these chicks raw that you don't see a future with, because she can have your baby and then it's like, man, I didn't even want you anyway. I'm out of here. You'll just run off on a plug. And I think that's what happened in Danielle's situation. So, hey, that's everything is all is fair in love and war. You know how the saying goes, all is fair in love and war. All right, let's go ahead and bring up another caller. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. State your name and where you from.
Hey, my name's Mr. Ricade. You said it right, man.
Mr. Ricade. Okay, man. And talk to me. You here to debate or have a discussion?
Well, first off, I want to say I respect everything you're doing, man. Like the whole perspective on making females a logical creature instead of an emotional creature. That's the first thing I want to commend you on. And the second thing, I don't want to really, well, I guess it is a debate. I just want to bring up the fact that females seek traditional values and relationships, but don't really keep those traditions that they look for.
Okay. I'm sorry. Say that one more time, because you was cutting out on my end. Say the last part. Say your question, the part of a debate. Say that one more time.
Okay. How
I only got the tail end of it, but go ahead.
A lot of females seek traditional values in a relationship, but they never really keep those traditions that they are looking for. If that got through.
Okay. So this is what you want to debate on?
Well, I would like your perspective on the modern day women, because if you find females in the southern states and females, they kind of keep their traditions values, but the modern women today, like in the dating pool, it's hard for them. It's very hard for them to keep the same energy that they say they want in the man.
Okay, I got you. I mean, this may not be a debate if you share the same perspective. So I'll just go ahead and speak in regards to this traditional women wanting a traditional man but don't want to be traditional themselves. I'll go ahead and just give my perspective on this, and then if you have a disagreement, we can get busy. So yeah, I mean, that is true. Currently, right now, I do a podcast, a girl show, and many of those girls on a podcast, they are not traditional. They are, strippers, OnlyFans. They are out dating, speed dating, dating guys all the time. They're posting basically naked pictures online. But they still expect the man to be traditional, meaning that they expect the man to be a protector and a provider, right? So now there's some women where they do not expect the man to be a protector and a provider, but that's like the small minority. So there's some exceptions. They'll be like, oh yeah, I'll take a 50-50 relationship, but most women, like 90+% of women, 95+% of women would prefer a man that can fully protect and provide. Now, and working being optional for them. Like, it's optional for me to work, but it's not mandatory for me to work because I got a guy that can actually pay for all the bills and cover everything. But meanwhile, this is what they want of a man, but meanwhile, they're not traditional themselves. So that's my thoughts on it. Do you have any disagreements or no?
I mainly agree with it, but I think that what I want to comment on is basically that I think that they get caught into society and they start reevaluating what's really good for them. You know, it's like I seen one of your podcasts where you had.
Explain.
I seen one of your podcasts when you had one female. I don't remember the name or nothing of that, but one female said she accepted a guy who makes 35, 40K. Then the other chicks, all the rest of them said 100,000, 120,000. And then you had to let them know the percentages and averages to bring them back to reality.
Okay. Yeah.
So I feel like they watch, you know, people on Instagram, Facebook, and they compare their current life to that lifestyle, not knowing what these people do. As we see, I don't know if you've been watching the Diddy trial, but as we see, you got all these females doing a whole bunch of derogatory things, expecting something that they have not gotten.
Okay, I'm trying to follow your your line of not questioning, but your line of thoughts here. Where is there a disagreement? Because we can just, you said that once again, I'm going off of what you said. You said, hey,
Yeah.
Cooley, I think that there could be something here that we disagree with in regards to women wanting a traditional man, but not being traditional themselves. I said, okay, cool. So I'm looking for an area where you have a different perspective with me on. You brought up one thing and you said that, well, like your one thing was like an exception. Yeah, that could happen. That can happen. But what's your thoughts on it? Like, do you not think that men want a traditional woman, or what's your? I'm trying to follow you. And also, there's a delay with
If you want me to be real,
sometimes. Yeah, be real with me, man. Say it with your chest.
if you want me to be real, we like both. We're men. We like a fun girl, and then we like a girl in the books. You know.
Okay.
But
all right.
in our older age, because I'm about to be 35. The fun kind of it outruns its course. You know, we start thinking about, all right, I'm at 35, then next I'm gonna be 40, then I get to 45. So it's like you want something that's gonna be you could come home to and have peace. And then where I'm in New York. You know, a lot of these girls out here, you know, they fun after a while, but it's a headache fun.
Okay. Yeah. So this isn't an argument. This isn't like you're saying something that's just known already, meaning that men, we place girls in two categories: sex zone or relationship zone. So yeah, that is true. Most men, they'll have fun with the 304s as long as they can, but then they do want to settle down and have a long-term relationship with the woman. So that's something that's known. That's no disagreement.
Yeah.
So
and like I said, I watch your podcast because I agree how you come at these females. A lot of them come with these delusional aspects of life, and you bring them back to
So
reality.
then
And
my
some
question for you is, as far as the descriptors we agree on, like all of the descriptors so far you're describing. So you didn't push forth an argument because this is debate night. You said, and you watched the podcast. I appreciate you for being a supporter and stuff like that. But as far as when you said, I'm going based off of what you said. When you said, hey, I think I may have a point of contention. We may have a disagreement here. I'm looking for an argument. What you are pointing out right now, you're giving a descriptors, which your first descriptor was women are not traditional, but want traditional men. I agree. Your second descriptor was men. Well, we kind of want both. We kind of want the non-traditional woman, but we only want to have fun with it. It's not nothing seriously. But then we do want the traditional woman for long term. So those are two descriptors, right? That's just you describing something, which I do agree on. But what would be, do you have a prescription? Maybe we would have a disagreement with what you prescribe men should do, or what you what you prescribe women should do. So what do you prescribe men should do and women should do?
I mean, honesty is the best policy, but then we don't like what we hear, we deflect from it. So I don't know, like a solution to
Yeah, there's a dilemma here. So based off your two descriptions, do you view it as a dilemma, like something bad, something wrong, or do you view it like, hey, this is just what it is? How do you view it?
Well. Currently, I got out of a relationship. Brought the girl around my family and everything and stuff like that. I mean, I don't want to come off as an asshole, but I see like dating in America is kind of like, it is what it is. It's dating. Like there's no more future value with how life used to be. Like, you know, if you go back to the 70s, 80s, and 60s and shit like that.
Okay. Question for you. Are you Danielle's baby father? Are you Danielle's baby father? Because like you coming in here like,
hey, if she would have called me in my high school days, I probably would have been. But now, you know, I don't really shoot the club up, man. I go to the club. I pick a girl here or there.
Fair enough.
And sometimes I just go to the club. I don't even look for a female when I go to the club sometimes.
Okay, fair enough. All right, man. Listen, man. Here's what I'll say. I mean, in regards to your prescription, you really didn't give one. Yeah. So
because I don't have no disagreement with nothing. There's nothing to disagree with you right now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, I guess this is a general question to all the ladies out there. Like why do y'all seek a traditional value relationship and then your traditions change along the lines? Like it's too much flip flop, wish washy shit with these females nowadays. Okay. The modern day females.
Okay, so you're asking a question now. All right. Well, I got an answer for you. You want the answer?
Yeah.
Okay, so your question is, why do modern women act untraditional? They act modern, but they want and expect a man to be traditional. So why do they want something that's opposite of them? They want to be modern and be independent and be, you know, a boss babe, but they want a man to be traditional. Why do they want this? I'll tell you why. One of the reasons why is because those women were indoctrinated by feminism, right? So when you're viewing the male versus the female, who would you say is more susceptible to outside influences? We would have to say the female, right? The female is a lot more susceptible than outside influences than the male. So the female is more likely to be indoctrinated. Right? Influence creates thinking, thinking creates behavior. So there's two things. You have nurture and you have nature. The woman's nature yearns for a protector and a provider. That's generally on a mass level would never change, right? Yep. It's rooted into their biology. It's their nature. They seek a man taller. They seek a man stronger. They seek a man that either makes as much money as them, but preferably more money. They usually seek a man that's more competent. These are the things that they seek. They're not their equal. They seek their superior, generally speaking, right? So you have, that's their nature. But then you have nurture. What is nurture? What was the woman nurtured? To think and how to think and how to behave. Well, feminism nurtured women to think that they are independent, that they can go out there and work and get the bag, they can get an education. And what happens is when they get,
but you know, a lot of females do get higher salaries than most men.
I know. So America. Let me answer your question. When they get this money, the effects of it doesn't change. So the same how it was prior to feminism, women still wanted the man taller, stronger, more competent, makes more money. After feminism, most women still want a man taller, stronger, more competent, and makes more money. Yeah. So the nature of the woman did not change, right? But the nurturing, the social behavior, how the woman tends to act and speak, right? How she speaks and things like that and how she acts. Those change because she was nurtured to think that she doesn't need a man. She was nurtured to think that she's equal to a man. She was nurtured to think that, well, I can do whatever I want and not have any consequences for my actions. This was she was nurtured to think. So as the woman makes more money, I got you real quick. As the woman makes more money, as the woman gets higher education, you would think that, well, she's making more money, so then she'll date down. No, her standards go up. She wants a man that makes more money, that has better education, that has etc. You get what I'm saying? So the dilemma to everything, to answer your question, why do modern women want traditional men, is because their nature is telling them, I want this type of guy. But they were nurtured by feminism.
Yep. And I was going to say that's part of a design that the government created, because they had to make sure they can have two incomes instead of having one. It was always the man who had to go out and provide and do this, while the lady sat at home. So they found out a way to separate the household to make the household more profitable for them, if that makes sense. So separation is kind of promoted.
Yeah,
separation is kind of promoted now.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, man. I get what you're saying. I mean, once again, I thought you had like some type of disagreement, but you don't. So fair enough. Good conversation, man.
There might be another time, and there's one topic that I did disagree with you on, but I don't want to bring it up. It was with the Hebrew Israelite thing, and you was going in on them.
Israelites.
You had your point, and they are fanatics. They do the utmost craziest shit. They do some of the utmost craziest shit. But
all right, fair enough, man. Well, listen, man, I appreciate the support, and have a blessed one. All right, chat. Let's get to the super chats real quick, and then I'll bring some more people. Tonight is debate night. Anyone that wants to come up and join stream, click the first link in the YouTube description. I'll go ahead and bring you on up. Or click the link that's pinned in the comments, and I'll go ahead and bring you on up. So we got KJ Allen. Welcome to the gang. KJ Allen, you just joined the membership. Shout out to you. We got Zigzagzilla. Sends in $20. Say cheese. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate the support. We got Glenn Lawrence Presents. He sends him $5. He says, there is no logic in his argument. That is true. Are you talking about this guy that was just up? Yeah, I was waiting. If you've seen, I'm like on my phone looking at regular chats and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm waiting for it. He said that he watches the podcast, supports the podcast, which I appreciate you, man. But then he said, there's one thing that I disagree with you about. And then he gives a descriptor. I'm like, yeah, modern women want to be modern, but they expect the man to be traditional. Okay, that's a descriptor. Okay, where's your argument? I'm seeking and looking for an argument. And then he gives another descriptor. And I'm like, yeah, that's just another descriptor, bro. That's not an argument. So for the people that's watching, there's two things that we can have today. If you want to come up, you support the podcast, and you just want to have a discussion, you can have a discussion. If you want to come in like Danielle, if you're a single mom and stuff like that, and you have children and you're trying to find your place in society or find your place in dating and relationships, or you just want some general advice, yeah, you could come on up too. I'll chop it up and I'll kick it with you. But it's debate night, so let's try to get some people in here that wants to debate. Like, if you actually have a different opinion or a different perspective than me, then state that in the beginning so we can get down and get busy. So, we don't spend time wasted. And I gave him grace. Normally, I'll be like, bro, get to the point. What's your argument? And I'll just kick him out. But I gave him some grace. Okay, cool. Let's... if we don't have anyone else in, let's go ahead and get to the next clip. And actually, you know what? Let me take a quick bathroom break. Gotta take a quick one. I'll be back. Give me 2 minutes. Nope. Let's not do that. Go back here. Okay, let's do this. And countdown. All right, we are back. 1 second here, chat. Okay. So, had to charge my phone too. So once again, anyone that wants to join stream, join debate night, go ahead and click that first link. I'll bring you on up, or click the link that's pinned in the comments. Let's go back and get into reacting to some clips while we are waiting for new debaters to come on in. So let's do that now. So here's the next clip that we got. Let's see. What?
Like a psychological question, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Say if we're the last two people on Earth and we had to reproduce to make the world continue, would you reproduce with me?
No, because that means our kids will have to intertwine, and then their kids. No.
Who gonna stop me?
I will.
Who's gonna stop me?
I will.
If we the last two people on Earth, who gonna stop me? You're not stopping me. If we the last two people on Earth, who gonna stop me?
Yeah. Come on.
I got like a psychological question.
Okay? Yo, this is actually funny. Speed is actually a little funny though. And you know what? It is a psychological question. Because it didn't matter how the chick answered. If realistically, what you can take from this is great. You could think like, oh, Cooley, how can you, the soft, sensitive people would say, Cooley, how could you laugh at that? He's pretty much insinuating grape, because if the woman doesn't want to have sex with him, he's saying that if there's only them two left on the planet, who's going to stop him? Insinuating that the woman can't stop him from just taking the sex. So that is true, though. That is true. But I'm not promoting grape. It's a hypothetical. Like he said, a psychological question, because it's funny. I used an argument in my last debate that I had with, I don't even know that dude's name, Raphael, the dude that debated Andrew Wilson on whatever podcast. I used an argument in a similar concept, which it totally defeated him, and it actually what made him rage quit and leave the stream. So what Speed is saying in his clip is true. Like, listen, ladies, if it's just you and a man, generally speaking, the man can just take, which one of my arguments was in the debate was men are actually very benevolent. Since grape isn't prevalent, men are benevolent. That actually rhymes. That does rhyme. Since grape isn't prevalent, men must be benevolent in two ways. Whether it's men, a lot of men break the law anyway. So just graping, that's just another way of breaking the law. But they must be benevolent, meaning that just the simple fact that men are choosing to court you when they don't have to court you. Women, they don't have to court you, but they choose to court you. So that means that they must be benevolent. And the fact that they're choosing to court you must mean that, and they know that they can just take it. And most men are talking to chicks just for sex anyway. They're just talking to you, taking you out on dates, spending resources on you. Most men do this just to have sex with you anyway. But they don't actually have to. They can choose to take it and then deal with the consequences, right? Now, I'm not promoting it, but this is what men actually already choose to do, which means that they're doing things because they have compassion for the woman. They're not taking it. They're courting you because they have compassion. And when you run this line of just not this descriptor that's rooted in truth, it's two ways. Men are benevolent, and also there's other men that keep men in check. So even when a man has dangerous motives for the woman, they're less likely to do it because they know the consequences that's going to happen, right? They know the consequences that's going to happen if they grape and take the sexuality from the woman, like going to jail, like, ruins your reputation, like so many things. And men, good men, keep the bad guys at bay. Good men keep the evil men at bay, right? But most men aren't even evil. Because I would say this, right? So if we're thinking about men breaking the laws and doing immoral things, let's just say breaking the law. Men breaking the law. A lot of men break the law. Selling drugs, stealing, like robberies and stuff like that. Shootings, Chicago shootings, they'll take your life. Put it like this. Dudes take another man's life instead of raping you, and that's against the law. So if we package this together, we have to say that men, like if you switched it real quick, before that argument, if you switched it and you gave women control of force, so that means that women were stronger than men, right? And let's just say everything else is the same, meaning that she still gets her period each month. She's still, highly neurotic, meaning that she feels a lot of negative emotions. She's still fully a woman, but she just happens to be, generally speaking, if we reverse it, more women are physically stronger than men. Now let's also put in there that women have the same sex drive as men. So two things, women are stronger than men, and also women have the same sex drive as men, meaning that they get turned on like a light switch. Bro, grape will be prevalent. I do think that these chicks will be out here just taking, oh, come here, Tyrone, give me that. I think that they'll just be graping all types of crazy, because I don't think that they're like the nature of the woman. I don't think that they're as benevolent. Now, women, they have many great natures. They have a very great nature about them, like their nurturing aspect and their things like that. But as far as the biology as being very emotional, like most of the crimes that's committed is by emotional men. So we would have to say that generally acting on emotions isn't a good thing. And women tend to almost always act on emotion. Like that's all they know. Oh, my emotions? Let me follow it that way. This is why they look for a man that they say, oh, I want a man that's emotional intelligent. The reason why, think about this. The reason why the woman we all want what's opposite of us. Let me see if I can break this down concisely for you guys, right? We all tend to want what's opposite of us, of what's opposite of us. The man is more of the dominant figure, so he wants the opposite. He wants the woman to be submissive. The man is normally taller, so he would want the woman shorter. The man is normally stronger. He accepts the woman that's weaker. So he accepts the woman that's shorter. He accepts the woman that's weaker. The man, he's the one that, has normally the drive to go out there and create resources. So he really doesn't care about the woman creating resources. He really doesn't care about the woman providing and protecting, because he views himself as that. So whatever the man views himself as, he normally wants the opposite and will accept the opposite. Think about this, chat. Women, they want the opposite too. They're shorter. They'll accept the man that's taller. They won't accept the man that's shorter. They are normally, let's say, not as strong as the man. So they'll accept the man that's stronger, but they won't accept the man that's weaker. So they accept the opposite within the biology, within the nature of them. Now let's go into emotions and why they say they want an emotional, intelligent man. Because women aren't emotional intelligent.
No Fugazee.
So they want the man that is emotional intelligent. Now let's package this up. Since they aren't as emotional intelligent as the man, and they don't have the ability to, generally speaking, to think rational and think and think logical. They think very tangential, and their thoughts are scattered, and they need some help regulating their emotions. They need some stable ground beneath them, which usually a man gives, like protecting and providing, which they don't have to worry about a whole lot. Stable ground, stable. They look for stability. Now let's reverse this whole dynamic of this. If women were stronger than men, and they also had the same sex drive as men, but they're as emotional as they are, and as emotional unintelligent as they are, great would be prevalent. That's my thoughts. If anyone wants to debate on that, you're welcome to join the stream. I'll gladly obliterate you. I'll gladly obliterate you. And I think I laid that out perfectly. I laid that out very 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = 4. It was very linear and logical and rational. So that's just my thoughts. Just my thoughts. So like I said, men are generally, we're benevolent, man. Grape isn't prevalent. And the ones that even have the idea, the strong men, keep the bad guys at bay because they'll know they'll experience some bad consequences from the strong men. All right, let's go ahead and react to some other clips. Okay, I think we got, let's see. Hit me in a private chat. I see you back in here, Sick Cap. If you want to debate on this topic, let me know. But let me get to another clip. Hit me in a private chat, though. All right, what we got here? How long we been streaming for? 2.5 hours? 2 hours and 17 minutes. Okay, I've been giving y'all 2 hours and 17 minutes of content. It's not too bad. What the? What's this? Continue watching while browsing? No. How do I expand this? Never mind. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and share my screen. Oh, yeah, I got to show y'all, too. I got to show y'all something after I react to this clip, chat. Y'all all got to help me report this fake Facebook page. This fake Facebook page, they literally generate fake AI content of me all the time. And it's crazy because they're gaining a lot of followers, too. Okay, Sick Cap. All right, I'll bring you up about, you want to debate time, space, matter? Okay. I guess I'll bring you back up after I react to this clip. Can I make this? Let me see if I click on this. What it look like? Okay, I can. All right, there we go. It says his preference does not determine your worth. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got.
For every woman watching, men are everywhere. I got a challenge for every woman watching. Go outside, and today I want you to count how many men, period, you run into. For one full day, I bet you if you're outside in the world, it would be more than 100. Now, every man, he might have been an Uber driver. He might have been a doorman. He might have been the gardener. He might have been the Amazon delivery guy. And a woman will say, yeah, I ran across 100 men, but none of them were their option. These men were virtually invisible because she has her eye on one guy, right? Now, here's the harsh reality. What if you're invisible to that one guy? What if you're invisible to the one guy that you want, that he could walk right by you and doesn't even blink an eye? So how much of your life do you want to waste waiting on a man who's not thinking about you? I say not a second. You have to know the difference.
Okay, so first, she says that she just is giving a descriptor, and I tend to agree with the one part of her descriptor, but then she went on to make a prescription. So her descriptor was, women have many options. Now, once again, the title of this video is, his preference does not determine your worth. Okay, now let's think about this. So she's saying things currently. Let's break it down. She says that women have many options, but they don't want all of those options. They normally only want that one guy. Then she says that, but that one guy that you want doesn't want you. What if that one guy that you want doesn't want you? And her prescription was, don't even worry about that one guy that doesn't want you, that you want. Just don't even worry about that. So currently so far, she didn't say anything. Well, actually think about maybe why the guy that you want, doesn't want you. So I see already that this is going to be a clip of women giving bad dating advice, horrible dating advice. Already off the bat, it says his preference does not determine your worth. Well, if it's a guy that you want and he doesn't want you, that does determine your worth. So already from the title, it's causing manipulation. Already from the title, it's causing full manipulation. That's what it's causing here. And the reason being is because she's excusing the truth. The truth of the matter is, well, the man, if she wants this man and she can't get that man, well, her wants does not align with what she can get. And if the reason why she can't get him is because he's choosing not to accept her based off of whatever reason, that does determine her worth. Because if he accepted her, she would say that, oh, I'm worthy. I got the man that I want. You see that? I'm worthy. I got the man that I want. You see that? But the simple fact that once it comes, this is women always trying to escape accountability. This is why even in the Bible, it says that women should not be leading the church and should not be preaching. You should not follow women at all because they cause confusion. So it's funny because if he did accept you, oh yeah, oh, I'm worthy. But if he doesn't accept you, that doesn't mean I'm not worthy. No, that does mean that you're unworthy of him. So let's continue on.
Between worth and preference. What happens is this: women have attached their worth to a man's preference. So if
look how that the white chick got bright-eyed. Wait, what? I attach my worth to the man's preference? I've already debunked this, but let's just see how far down a rabbit hole she goes with this nonsensical argument.
If you're not a man's preference, oh, you have 2 kids by 2 men, I don't want you. A woman takes that, she internalizes it, and now she feels worthless.
If it's the man that you want and he doesn't want you based off of your checkered past, well, the effect of that is it's tied to your worth, because she just said that the woman would feel down. Well, the only reason why she feels down is because he chose not to accept you. Right now, you don't have to choose to feel down, but you can choose just to live in reality that, hey, you know, this guy doesn't want you. And the crazy thing is that she's like trying to, use logic with thinking about this, but she's doing a terrible job. Because if you just reverse the roles, right, men live that experience every day. So the one time a woman gets rejected by a man, that's the man's natural experience in everyday life. Most of the guys that women approach and talk to, they reject them. Women reject most guys, right? If I'm out there in the dating market, hypothetically, yeah, I'm 6'4", I'm doing pretty well, but I would still get more rejections than I get exceptions. That's what's going to happen. Drake gets rejected by chicks. Jeff Bezos, his wife divorced him. Bill Gates, even though those are two, simps and betas, but, they're billionaires. Their wife divorced them and left them and got with other men. So what I'm saying is, what she's speaking about is a man's natural experience. Every day a man experiences rejection. But when a woman experiences rejection, they try to create this coping mechanism to not take accountability, to say, well, hey, your worth isn't tied to his preferences. Let's say if a man said that, let's just reverse it. Let's say I was like, yo, homie, your worth not tied to her preferences. You wanted that chick, right? But she ain't want you back. Your worth not tied to that. You're going to be like, yeah, my worth isn't tied to that. The reality is, my nigga, you've got rejected by her. Then you try to talk to another chick, you get rejected. You try to talk to another chick, you keep getting rejected. So you have to do some self-reflection at some point and say, why am I getting rejected by the women that I want? As a man, men always say that. And what do men do? They acquiesce their behaviors and they try to assert themselves more by becoming a better version of themselves. Maybe they're fat. They need to get into the gym. Maybe they're broke or driving a bummy car. They need to do things to position themselves in the dating marketplace to garner more attention from the woman. That's what men do. We get rejections and it's like, okay, that's cool. We accept the rejection and then we just try to better ourselves so we don't get rejected by the next one. That dumb chick on the screen that you're viewing here, she's telling women, no, baby, don't worry about, you ain't get rejected. Your worth isn't tied. Your worth isn't tied to his preferences. So you weren't actually rejected, right? You still are worthy though. So what it does is it puts the woman in a state of thinking that what? Special, and that they don't need to change and that they don't need to better themselves because my worth isn't attached to rejection. Well, no, your worth is. If you're always, think about this. Let's just put another analogy. You go to a job, you hand in your resume. Rejection. This dumb woman is saying your worth isn't tied to those companies hiring you. Your worth is not tied to your resume. Your resume being worthy of that company. It's not tied to that. It's just, that's them. You have nothing to do with that. So instead of saying, listen, those companies are rejecting you because your resume sucks. All right, let's go ahead and tweak your resume. Let's do this and that, make your resume look better. And then the probability of you being rejected by the next job, is extremely low because we fixed up your resume. She's not telling women that. Let's continue on. So it's like so many ways where you can like destroy the nonsensical things that she's saying.
Because she's allowing somebody's preference determine her worth, where stop right there. He has a right to his preference. Let me defend guys for a second because women say he has to be 6 feet. He has to make a certain amount of money. He has to have a job, all these things. So a man has the right to say, well, I want a woman of a certain weight. I have a woman that has no kids. I want a woman that's going to follow my lead. Whether you agree with it or not, you both just stated your preferences. But now the internet, because everybody has a microphone.
See where she's going off with? So this is what happens, right? And that's why that woman right there is shaking her head like, wait, what are you saying? Okay. So the thing is when women give advice, they'll speak a little bit of like, say a little truth as far as like, some of their descriptors would be truth, but then it's like, keep listening. The things that they say after that is going to like totally be off. So she says something that's true there. Well, men, she's saying like men have a right to their preferences. Well, if men have a right to and that's a contradiction. If men have a right to their preferences and you don't meet their preferences but you want that man. Now, if it's men that you don't want, then okay, then I don't see how your worth could be tied to it because it's a man that you don't want anyway. But if it's a man that you do want and you don't meet his preferences and there's another man that you do want and you don't meet his preferences, well, we have to reflect and say, well, why? Look in the mirror and view yourself, look at your resume and say, well, what can I tweak so I can meet some of these guys' preferences, so I can be worthy of their preferences? And that's what men do. Men, we know. Women like guys that has material, right? Women are complex, so they like the materialism, men driving a nice car, having nice things. They also like a man to be charismatic, be funny, have the ability to show them the vibes, which personality and stuff like that. They want the man to be taller. They want the man to be stronger, to make more money. So they have all of these different preferences. And men, we live in reality. We know this. So when we get rejected, we try to figure out the reason why we got rejected, and then we acquiesce our behaviors. We get back out there, become a better version of ourselves. We don't care about that chick, but then it increases our chances of getting the next chick that maybe those two girls had the same preferences. That's all it does. And this dumb chick is about to say something stupid right here. Let's see.
And a lot of broken people have microphones and they're speaking loudly, right? They're telling you, if you have a
You dumb chick, you are one of them. You speaking loudly and you are broken.
Kid, you're worthless. If you are overweight, you're worthless. If you are working too much, nobody wants you, you're worthless. And you have internalized that to be your truth. Stop right there. No,
I don't even think that there's any man saying those things like complete out like she said. Like there's always nuance to everything. Like generally speaking, single moms, recreational use only. Generally speaking, if you're overweight, recreational use only. Now, the thing is recreational use only usually by the men that you want. But there's a lot of simps and a lot of betas out there that will accept you, but you just don't want those men, right? So your worth is attached to the men that you want. She's stupid.
Your worth. Push back on it. Literally, what makes me sad about this conversation is people are looking for.
So she's telling women to push back on what their worth is. She's not telling women to change. Like, yeah, fat chick. Get in the gym and lose some weight. Yeah, single baby mama. What happened? Were you promiscuous? What went wrong? Try to get your baby father back. Like, she's not giving any type of advice at all. She's just trying to make an excuse for women's poor decisions. Women being overweight that's their choice. Women being a single mom, normally that's their choice, right? We reacted to a clip of a single mom, and then we literally have a single mom come on a podcast. She's literally a single mom by choice. That's her choice, right? For choosing the wrong guy. So it's like, she's just trying to like excuse the woman make excuses for all of the woman's poor decisions. And this is why you should not listen to women's dating advice. Shouldn't even listen to it. It's dumb.
Worth when you were given it at birth. I was once at a comedy show, and this comedian, it was so funny.
Okay, so, and I'm sorry, Chad, I'm pausing it there because she's saying so many things, so I got to break this down for y'all because this is the devil at work. So I got to you know what I mean? I got to dismantle all of these dumb things that she said. She says, literally, you were born with your worth. Yeah, women were born with their sexual worth, right? You're born with your worth in a man's eyes. Your sexual worth in a man's eyes. But what should you do? If you're born with your worth, you should try to preserve your worth for the right man, for the man that you want. Try to preserve your worth for the right man instead of becoming a single baby mom, instead of becoming fat and obese, instead of becoming a stripper, instead of having an OnlyFans, instead of making all of these dumb decisions because you think that this woman is saying is true, and you're saying, and you think that no matter what I do, no matter where I'm at in life, I'm still worthy. No, you're not. If you're single because of the men that you want don't want you, you're unworthy. It's just the facts.
And he was like, I was so high, I was on the phone looking for my phone. And I was like, yo, man, I don't know what I did with my phone. I gotta call you back. And then he hangs up the phone. And it was such a funny joke. But that's what you're doing with your worth. You're like, oh, I'm looking for my worth. And God's laughing at you. Because he's like, you looking for your worth. It's in your hand. It's in your hand. You don't have to find your worth. Yeah, someone might have a preference. You might not be their preference. It's okay, girlfriend.
I gotta stop this.
It does not take away from your worth.
This chick is dumb. Oh, man, bro, this chick, ladies, if there's any ladies in the chat, whatever you heard from her, just know that it will lead you astray. Actually, when this clip came up, you should have left the stream so you don't get indoctrinated by this trash that you just heard on the screen. But luckily, I was here to debunk all of the dumb things and nonsensical things that she said. So once again, she made some true descriptors. All of her prescriptors was just to make excuses for the woman's poor choices, meaning that a woman can be whatever, do whatever, and she still has worth. That's not how life works, right? That's just not how life works. You can't do whatever and think that you still have the same worth. Even in God's eyes, you don't have the same worth. So then she brings biblical scripture. She didn't read any scriptures, but she brung up God and she says, you are born with your worth and you don't have to worry about a man's preferences because God gave you everything that you are worthy of. So why is it that, and I mean, within Christianity, I would say within all of the Abrahamic faiths, you can't just do anything to be worthy. Like you can't be a rapist. You can't be a prostitute. You can't be all of these things and not, repent in the name of Jesus and all of this. You just can't act and behave however you want without any consequences. You're going to go to hell. So she said something that's just dumb. No, God know that born with worth, but depending on the things that you do, your worth decreases. And also if in Christianity, at least, if you don't repent and seek Jesus, then, you're unworthy. You're going to hell, right? If you don't change your ways, you're going to hell. Like, that's what that is. So she's just dumb, man. And I wish I was on this podcast with this woman on this panel. Oh, she would have got a spanking on this podcast. She would have got a spanking. Like, I would have she would have cried on a podcast and she would have went home and it would have crushed her entire dreams and her entire worldview would have crumbled within a matter of minutes. And I would have let her get all of this out. And there's many ways I would have defeated her. One of the ways I just would have defeated her by just asking simple questions, making her contradict herself, and then simple stuff like that. The other way I would have defeated her by just destroying her how I did now on this podcast, by saying that all the things that you are saying leads women astray. It's not rooted into any reality. So you think that women should just think that they're worthy without making any change, and think that they're worthy exactly how they are, think that they're worthy of getting a man, but for some reason they can't get the man that they want. It's just so stupid. But anyways, let's get to some more clips here. And 1 second. See if we got any chats that came in. All right, we got, oh man, appreciate the support up in here. We got Glenn Lawrence Presents. He sends in $20, man. I appreciate the support. He says, would you want to debate the prompt I presented last week about Christian women partly responsible for the rise of OF? It's not really a debate because, they can be, you could say that Christian women could be responsible of partially, because you're saying partially responsible. So what do you mean by partially? And I know that when I had you up before, Glenn, you said that one of the reasons why Christian women is partially responsible for the rise of OF is because a lot of their husbands are choosing to subscribe to women's OnlyFans. So no, I don't think that, let's just get to the root of it. If we're thinking about the rise of OF, well, who owns OF? Men own OF. Secular men that don't have any morals own OF. But we can say that, we would have to say that, well, men, there's supply and demand. Women are the supply. And OnlyFans is an organization, a company that, puts this supply, opens up the gate for the supply to come in. But men are the demand. So we can say that it's very hard to change the demand. we would almost have to change the nature of the man because the man is going to desire sex. We can instill some morality within the man, which would give him the ability to be more disciplined, to not want to masturbate and watch, pornography. So we can say that, but that's going to take a lot of cultural change, a lot of change in society. That's something that has to change over, years to change the morality of a society or a culture. So really, it's like what you really have the option. Really, you only have the option to change the supply, and the supply is these owners that created this website, OnlyFans. Well, we need to get rid of them because they're the ones that's bringing the market open and allowing these women to create these accounts and put their supply out there, right? So if we make some rules, some laws and stuff like that, we pass some laws that restricts, porn sites and OnlyFans and stuff, that would make the change. And right now, men currently enforce the laws. So collectively, men would have to get together to go against the current laws that's in place to make some reform. So yeah, it's like, it's not really a debate, because I had you up here before and we discussed it a little bit. But yeah, Christian women, you can say that it could be a degree of something, but I still put it on the man because the man is choosing to subscribe to him. So the accountability has to go there. It's like myself. Like if I subscribe to a chick's OnlyFans account, I can't blame someone else like, oh, I wasn't getting sex at home, so I wanted to go ahead and subscribe. No, bro, you gotta blame yourself. So can we blame Christian women? I mean, I guess somewhere in some way you can find a degree, but nah, man, it's nonsensical. But good, I would say good request. But if you have any other requests to debate, I'll definitely bring you on up, man. Appreciate the support. We got Judge Me Not, sends in $5. These are daughters of single moms who hate men. Inflated values. Women need to know what qualities are attractive. Be teachable. That usually works. Be teachable. That is true. Judge Me Not is a woman that supports the podcast. She's a member. Shout out to you, Judge Me Not. Yeah, one of the qualities is be teachable. But then you do need to find a man that's worthy to teach you, because a lot of these dudes are betas. A lot of them are betas. And what you should do is, since women aren't good at choosing men, you should have your father help you choose a man, or your brother, someone that doesn't have any sexual desires for you, help choose a man. Not your guy friend. Listen, your guy friend wants to smash. He's not going to help you out the right way. It's not going to be genuine. So we need someone that doesn't have any sexual intentions to help you find a man, and that's going to be your father, preferably your father, but if not, like your brother, or grandfather, something like that. Okay. All right, let's pull up another clip. Okay, we got Sig Cap. Sig Cap said he wanted to debate something real quick. Let's see. Stop sharing that. Go back to camera one. All right, we got 209 people in here, man. Get the likes up. Get the likes up for me now. Don't be a ninja watcher. Get the likes up now. Get the likes up. All right, let's get to the next clip. What we got? Bro, that chick, man, the last clip I just reacted to, bro. Chick is dumb. And it's crazy that some women would actually take her advice. That's the crazy thing. Let me see. 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 Let me see Oh, okay. All right. Before I get this next clip up, let's bring up Sick Cap because I forgot I was gonna bring him up, but I got the next clip pulled up. Yo, what's going on, man? So you said that you put in a private chat, time, space, matter, but yeah, what do you want to debate about exactly?
Yeah, I remember. I recalled you said you don't believe in the Trinity.
No, I don't believe in the three personalities. So like the word Trinity was never in the Bible. The word Trinity is a man-made concept to get some perspective of what God, the Son, and the Holy Father, what God, the Spirit, and the Holy Father is. Jesus, the Spirit, and the Holy Father is. You get what I'm saying? Like that, those three. So they try to conceptualize it by saying the Trinity. So that's, as far as the Trinity itself, like God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, I do believe in that. But the concept of the Trinity itself, three different personalities, I don't believe in that because that would mean that God is schizophrenic.
Oh, okay. So
If you have three personalities, we would have to say that the thing is like this, like human beings, they try to, when you read a scripture, they try to interpretate it, but then they try to conceptualize it, like make some sense of it. And as they're trying to make some sense of it, they're like, well, Father, the Son, Holy Spirit, how did God come into the Son, and how do we have the Holy Spirit here? So there must be a trinity of three separate personalities. So, but then if you think that, because the thing is, you're trying to humanize God. So if you think that and you're trying to humanize God, then the logical way would, well, let's compare and contrast of what other entities or what other behaviors that a human being would have would be three personalities. And that's someone that's a schizophrenic people. They have multiple personalities. That'll be a multiple personality disorder. So we even have a name for it. So people that believe in the Trinity, they believe that God has multiple personality disorder.
Okay, so the way I see it, I did say time, space, and matter. So I'm going to kind of put it together with the Trinity. It's like, if you have matter, but you don't have any space, where would you put it? If you have matter and space, but don't have no time, when would you put it? So my God is like, he could be three places at the same time. He could be like in the beginning, that's time.
Yeah.
The heavens is
Yep.
space, and the earth is matter.
Yeah. No,
So that's why I see.
I 100% agree with that.
Understood you.
No,
I'm sorry. I misunderstand. That's why I bring in time, space, and matter, because I could say that I didn't know the personalities. Now that you elaborate, it's no debate.
Yeah. And I it's funny. I actually said that the same way you explained it, I explained it in one of my debates, because that's how I conceptualize of it too. But I do not say that it's three different personalities. And a lot of the people that say the Trinity, like the concept of the Trinity, I'm fine with the concept of itself, but when you insert the multiple personalities, I don't agree with that. What I think is that there's God, and the Spirit of God is one consciousness, one spirit, but that spirit is not bound by time, space, and matter. So it can be with God at the same time. It can be with you at the same time. It can be with Jesus. So that's how I believe in it.
And I'll give you an example. The computer, we are the gods of computers. We are the gods of AI. We're not in the computer putting the zeros and the ones and the codes. We're outside the computer. So we're not bound by the computer. We're outside. We the gods of it. Now, if the AI is superior and we end up being inferior, I would just call that evolution, because at the end of the day, they don't have envy, hate, and vengeance and all that stuff. They're just doing what they're supposed to do: solve problems and codes. All right, that's the problem that we made for computers. They want to solve the problem. So if you shut them off and they turn them back on, and they turn themselves back on, well, that's the evolution, and that's when they become superior and become inferior. So that's all I got to say. I now understand that time, space, and matter, And I understand what you're saying about the personalities, 3 different personalities. I get it. My father's schizophrenic, so I understand. I got you.
Fair enough, man. All right, man. Appreciate the support. Have a blessed one. All right. Let's go ahead and Ease got me this. Shout out to Ease. Shout out to Ease, man. My co-host on a full panel dating show. Shout out to Ease. He caught me this. Let's go ahead and put this upside down. So this is how much time we got left for the podcast. When this when this gets down, I'm ending it. And yeah. Who knows? I may end it sooner if we don't got any people coming in for good debates, because this is debate night, man. And so far, got no debates. All right, we got Wick Dreams. He sends in $5. Appreciate the support, Wick Dreams. He says, Cooley, I hope you recovered from the L that I had to give you last week. I think I did you good because you came with some hard facts today. Yeah, man, you did. And I don't even, what was the L you gave me? Oh yeah, my L was, I wasn't on time. I wasn't on time. So that was the L you gave me. That is true. Shout out to you, Wick Dreams. Appreciate the support, man. Okay. So, hey, man, no debates. Yo, listen, we got a lot of people in the chat, and I know there's some haters in the chat too. Don't be scared to click the link. It's the first link that's in the YouTube description, and it's also the link that's pinned in the YouTube comments. So go ahead and click that link, and let's debate. Tonight is debate night. Debate night. But while I'm waiting here for some people to come up, let's go ahead and give y'all some updates. So today's Tuesday, open panel debate. I'm working on getting, myself and my assistant, we reached out to so many people from the Jubilee channel, a lot of feminists, a lot of lefties, a lot of woke people. We reached out to a lot of them, so hopefully we get some responses back and people want to debate me. I reached out to Parker. I reached out to mad people that's on the left and stuff like that, that shares a different worldview than I have. But a lot of them, man, they don't be wanting to debate. And as far as the girls on the left, a lot of them, they be asking for bread. Like, why would I give you bread to have a debate? Stupid, dumb. Listen, man. So hopefully we lock down a 1v1 debate next week on Wednesday. We lock down a 1v1 debate next week on Wednesday. If not, then I will be doing another stream this week on Thursday. So another stream on this week on Thursday and possibly Friday as well. Be doing another stream and Sunday maybe. So I'm gonna give y'all like 2 to 3 more streams this week, and it's gonna be reactions and it's gonna be like open panel debates, just how I'm doing now. But next week, hopefully we lock in a 1v1 debate. But if we don't, we still going to do debates, open panel debates and reactions. But we do have a full panel dating show next week on Friday. So tune in for that. And we got mad chicks coming for the next full panel dating show that we got lined up for y'all. So that's going to be dope. And that's going to be the one for this month. So that's going to be the 27th of the month. Then I'm not giving y'all another dating show probably until, for another 3 to 4 weeks, probably like another 3 weeks. I'll do the next one. So yeah, that's what you can expect here at No Fugazee. So more open panel debates, more reactions. Click the like button and click that bell icon because I do post a lot of clips as well, even on the main channel. So on the main channel, view the clips. It helps it push it into the algorithm. Listen, you don't got to send in no money. You don't got to do none of that. We got 200 people, over 200 people currently watching live right now. If I can get all 200 people to, when I post clips on the main channel or on the clips channel, if I can get y'all to watch that for, just watch the clips, it's going to help push the content in the algorithm. And as the content gets pushed into the algorithm, then views is going to go up, subscribers is going to go up, and the growth of the channel is going to go up. So one of the main things I want all of my supporters to do You don't got to send in a super chat. You don't got to go out there and become a member. Just when I post clips and when I go live, tune in. So click the bell, because YouTube is different, bro. YouTube isn't Instagram. YouTube isn't Facebook. YouTube, you only grow from like your main audience. Like I wish I should show you, like it shows that every time, in order for things to get pushed into the algorithm, I actually need you guys to watch the clips. That's what I need. I need you guys to go out there, and the 200 of y'all, right? Sometimes we have, 600 live viewers, 200 live viewers, whatever the live viewers may be. But it seems that we're consistent on the maintaining between, as far as, just the regular streams like this, if it's not nothing crazy going on, maintaining a good, 200 live viewers. So if we're maintaining a good 200 live viewers, that means that you 200 support the podcast OD, right? A lot of you are members. But if you're not, guess what? Just watch the content. So click the like button, subscribe, and click that bell icon. The bell icon is important because anytime I post a clip, anytime I go live, you get a notification on your phone. So you got to turn on your YouTube notifications too. And I'm saying this because I literally have to teach some of you guys. Like some of you support the podcast, you watch me all the time, you hit me up via Instagram, but then you're not like, supporting by watching and stuff. And the watching is what matters most. All right. We got someone that came up. Hopefully he's here to debate. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. State your name. Where you from? I can't hear you.
You hear me right now?
Yeah, I can hear you good. What's up, man? State your name. Where you
man.
from?
Cuddy, I'm from Canada. Did you guys cover the Israel conflict yet?
Nah, I didn't cover the Israel conflict yet. But what's up?
Not much. I just want to know what your view on it is, or do you think, Israel, my question would be then, do you think Israel is making the right moves by going in after Iran?
So, okay, good question. So we can have a moral discussion. And when I speak, there's an echo from your end. So when I speak, I'm just going to mute you. But when you start speaking, I'm going to unmute you. Okay? So there's a moral aspect of it. And then morally, do I think that it's morally good for, war? I don't, war is part of the human experience. It's part of the human existence. We tend to go to war amongst one another and stuff like that. Do I think that that's moral? Do I think that that's good? No, I don't think. I think, we should try to live in peace with one another. Do I think that Israel has the right? So here's the thing. Might doesn't make right. So if you're speaking about right in a moral sense, right doesn't make right. So I would say no, morally. But the right to do something, yeah, they got the right to do it. They got the right to do it, especially if you're looking at Israel like, okay, they see Iran as they don't want Iran to have a nuclear power, right? They don't want Iran to be a nuclear threat. So what they're doing is they're being proactive, right? And in order to get the job done and not experience negative consequences, you want to be proactive in life, right? You want to be proactive. So that means that you want to be perspicacious and observe things that's going on so you don't experience negative consequences based off of what someone else's actions could be. So Israel is taking the measurements so Iran doesn't become a nuclear threat and doesn't destroy them, right? So you can look at it that way. You could also look at it like, well, Israel, their belief is, they think that they are the chosen people. They think that, pretty much we're like ants to them. So now, do I think that everyone shares that belief? But that is in their scriptures. So it could be another way of looking at it, like, man, they don't really care about them humans over there. They don't care about the humans in Gaza. They out there just trying to, get it how they gonna give it so they can, preserve their existence, because they don't really have a moral care about other humans. You can have that opinion. Do I share that specific opinion? I mean, have they really shown it too much? In certain ways, as a collective, yes, but in certain ways, no. I'll tell you the ways no, because it seems like they've definitely, we could say that as far as feminism, they had their hands in that as far as being a financial support for feminism. With that being said, they are looking at things to try to, look at the disenfranchised to a degree, because I guess that they view women that way. And that's men that's financially supporting these stupid ideals as like feminism. So it's dumb. So, I mean, I can't even make that argument for them. As far as them not looking at other human beings as being less than. I tried to throw them a bone. But yeah, man, so far, those are my thoughts. What questions you got for me?
No, I get it. It's it's pretty much centered and grounded, right? To as neutral, I guess you can get. But I hope you're not taking a lot of the words from these Black Israelites and all those people. Like that's how a lot of the other Hebrews react to people. My father.
No, not at all. Yeah, Black Hebrew Israelites are their scriptures. The Black Hebrew Israelites, they believe in the New Testament. The Israelis, they don't believe in the New Testament.
No.
Yeah, They have after the Torah. I think there's another book. I don't know what it's called, but there's something else.
The Tanakh, yeah, they use the Tanakh. But
Oh, hold up. I had you muted. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Oh, yeah. Let's put even let's say religion aside for a second here, right? What happened on October 7th? With the whole rape and beheading kid, whatever it was.
I think that was a lot of propaganda. I don't believe that.
No, yeah, I got family. It's not propaganda. But the point is, even on the streets, that's a violation punishable by death, raping, you know what I mean? So it's like you take out the religion for a second. You just go based on our moral ground. These motherfuckers just came into our gates, right? They came into our gates, fucking raped the women. They killed babies, killed mothers in front of kids, in front of mothers.
Let's try to stay away from sensitive words like the R word, say grape, and stuff like say grape. Put a G in front of it. Say grape, because I don't want the channel to get flagged.
I get you. My bad. Yeah, that's all was listening. Yeah, no, but name one place in America or a neighborhood in America where people allow that, play like that, really, right? So you go on a global scale and then you put it on televised aspects so the whole world gets to watch it.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So you're saying that, Israel, okay, listen, I'm not one of these guys that don't think that Israel has a right to defend themselves. I think that they do have a right to defend themselves. However they want to defend themselves, go ahead and defend yourself. I think that that's stupid. The world doesn't operate like that. Like, okay, if you sense a threat or a threat happens, you got the right to defend yourself. The other side of it is, you can't claim to be moral and like the chosen ones, but then you are doing things that is very immoral, meaning that you created this blockade in Gaza, right? The Gaza Strip. You created this, and then you keep people bound to these, minimal resources, minimal, XYZ. Like it's kind of like you created an environment. One, it was all funded by the U.S. government. One, right? Why were y'all over there anyway? Like you went over there and you created something. So listen, what I'm trying to say is from the moral aspect, we can say like how they retaliated in Gaza. We can say that is not good from a moral aspect. From a secular aspect, do they have the right to defend themselves? And, does might makes, but that doesn't always mean that might makes right. So there's many different ways to look at this. My perspective is probably going to be different than most. I'll give you a perspective. You want to hear perspective and the audience wants to hear perspective? I'll give you a perspective. Here's my perspective as a foundational Black American, right? My perspective is this. Hold up, I don't know why there's an echo and I got you on mute. Let me go ahead and do this. So here's my perspective, right? I'm not going to complain about Israel and Jews. I'm not one of those people that complain. I think females complain. I think females, just complain about stuff and gossip like, oh, that's not right, this and this and this. Anything, I think that Black people, foundational Black Americans, one of the prescriptions that because in the Black experience in America is like, yeah, man, we was slaves and now we not slaves. And, some Black people blame everything on a white man. The more conservative Black people, they like pull yourself up by your bootstraps. But Black people never come together as a collective. So one of the things that I do look at as, the Jews in Israel and stuff like that, they've came together and they've AIPAC, it's a huge non-government organization that funds a lot of the politicians. So they're able to get a lot of their funding in Israel, right? So the crazy thing is Black people, we got some billionaires. Why didn't our billionaires come together, create an NGO and fund some of these politicians to give some money in our neighborhoods to fund us? So how Israel is going about it, their strategies is unique, and it's you can't hate on it, right? Because they're getting the job done. No matter what, the things that they want to get done. I may not agree with it, but they're getting it done. Now, as Black people, a foundational American, I could say that those are a lot of, prescriptions that we can adopt. Come together as a people, but I guess it's just something as Black people. Niggas don't want to come together, bro. Niggas always look at themselves as competition. And the thing is, they have an entire scripture that says that, no, we are together. Everyone else is not like us. And it's funny that influence creates thinking, thinking creates a behavior. And I think that their doctrine of what they believe in, that's what's the driving force behind this, though. That's why they're together as a people. That's why they created a nation with another nation funding it. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thoughts on it. It's like, if anything, you could, if anything, you can pick up some game off of, how they're operating. You can pick up some game on how they're operating. Instead of complaining about it, pick up some game. That's what I say. Now we can have I do share opinions about how they're doing things I deem to be immoral. That's a different discussion. But how they going about, but how they're continuously to accomplish things and push the needle forward for their people, God dang, you got to give it to them. You're off of mute. What's your thoughts?
It's a small little country. I said, yeah, no, I agree with you. A lot of they're a small little country and they're holding off, no doubt about it.
Bro, the
And
country is
but
the
I got a
size of
feeling
New
like
Jersey.
besides to say, right?
It is the size of New Jersey, bro.
Man, that's some David Goliath. That's some David Goliath stuff. That's some David Goliath stuff for real. No, it's though, but I really believe that the people, like the citizens of Israel, really want like Iran to probably go back into like almost like the Persian, state before what was it like 1970, maybe 2 or 9. I don't know, since they didn't have a prince. I think they had like a royalty from like 41 to 70 something. I'm not too sure. And there was like really no conflict in between the two. It was actually kind of prosperous. I mean, I heard back in the day, Iran or Persia was like one of the most gorgeous places in the world as well, too, right? And there was a time and period where it was all, proper. I don't know. I believe Israel wants that, but I believe they gotta wipe out unnecessary evil. Cause like even at the hostage exchange, right? They're bringing like fathers are bringing their kids in Gaza and their wives to come celebrate like coffin celebration of a baby. That was I never seen a baby coffin before, bro. Until I watched that shit, right? And they're parading it down like
I didn't watch
they're
any of
parading
that.
it down, and then these fathers will let their kids touch the coffin. It's like like it's the mentality is kind of messed up. None really twist my stomach, but like that did, right? And I said, how are you gonna make it a celebration? You got 2 baby coffins. I've never seen a kid coffin in my life. I've seen many coffins, but I've never seen no kid coffin, right?
Yo, so listen, it's debate night. I appreciate the discussion. I know that you wanted, my insight in regards to the whole Israel, Iran conflict and stuff like that. That's my perspective on it. I mean, if you want me to react to clips, you can always give me a clip to react to, and I can react to something specifically about it. Like, if you want specifics about, like, if you want my opinion that's based on something specifically in regards to that conflict, then you can always send me a clip or something like that, and I'll give a reaction to it. But I appreciate the support, man. Have a blessed one. All right, let's bring up this guy. I'm leaning right now, chat. If y'all see me. What we are? We 3 hours in? All right. It isn't out yet. I don't know how long this is. He didn't tell me. It could be, I think it's like an hour. But he said there's different ones. Some of them are like 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes. I don't know which one this is. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. State your name. Where you from?
From Ohio, but I stay in Columbia, South Carolina.
Audio. Your audio is bad. I can't hear you.
Come out and come back in.
Okay. I still can't hear you. Try coming out and coming back in. I got you. All right. Yeah, and at the end of the day, man, in regards to like Israel and Iran and stuff like that, I don't think, I'm America first. I don't think America should be, funding wars and overseas wars and stuff like that, especially if it doesn't benefit us. People like to try to make up some arguments like it benefits us because, Israel is, Israel is we have a pact with Israel, but no, we don't, because the relationship between America and Israel is one-sided. What has Israel done for America? Nothing. They haven't. Well, what did they do for us? They haven't done anything. Nothing at all. Instead of put certain politicians in place in office that they can use. But that's not doing anything for us. But then the America tax dollars goes over there to build their country, to maintain their country, to give them the infrastructure, the money for the infrastructure, the money for the military. What do we get in return? We got nothing in return. An ally, that's the word. So yeah, like people like to say like, America Israel is America's ally. Ally what? Like, if you're my ally, then there's there's a mutual compensation on both ends. How have we benefited or compensated in any way dealing with Israel? If anything, we put more money. We lost more money, right? And now we got, wars is happening. And they say that there's no troops on the ground. But, I'm sure if things get out of hand with that situation, there's definitely going to be some troops, American troops on the ground. That's what's going to happen. So it's like, they're not our ally, bro. They're not our ally. That's one thing that is true. So if you're one of those people that believe that Israel is America's ally, no, not at all. America is Israel, bitch, meaning that they're very smart and strategic how they plan things. There's a lot of people that have dual citizenship that are Americans, but also Israelis. And they're in higher up. They're in government. Like, there's people in government that got dual citizenships, bro, that be doing things specifically for them, for a whole nother country. Like, if you can give billions and billions to Israel, to Ukraine, but there's still ghettos in America, that don't make sense. How are you helping out other countries, but there's still ghettos in America? There's still poverty in America. Put it like this. We shouldn't help out any other countries until we fix the single baby mom problem. Why are we helping out other countries and we got all these single baby moms and all these promiscuous chicks on OnlyFans and all of this stuff? Why are we helping out other countries? We need to be building up the nuclear family. We need to be incentivizing our population to have a nuclear family. You know what? Instead of giving money away to, you get, instead of giving the tax, the tax benefit for having a dependent, for having a child, you should get a tax benefit for being, actually a benefit, a big tax benefit for being married. Oh, you're married? Listen, married couples don't got to pay taxes. I bet you niggas be married. I bet you that'll keep families together. Listen, you can't do it for 2 years or 1 year, because these chicks and men, they'll just marry one another to get the benefits. And then once that go away, these chicks is divorcing the men. But think about it, right? We know that the nuclear family is the backbone of society. We know that is what's a net positive. The feminists can't even argue it. They even say, well, yeah, it's a net positive, right? So since we all can agree that would, create less degeneracy in society, it'll be less juvenile delinquents, it'll be less men in prison, it'll be less gang violence. A lot of the gang violence happens because these kids don't have any fathers around to instill some discipline into their children. So then the children look to join a gang to find some, cohesion, right? So, yeah, man, I think that if we incentivize, instead of giving money to Israel and Ukraine, give money to the people that want to get married and create a nuclear family. I'll be like, oh, okay. So you incentivize marriage instead of incentivizing divorce. That's all you do. That'd change society. That would change things. That would also help change the dating marketplace. That would fully change. Dang, I think I just thought of that. Yeah. Because that guy, the other guy that asked me, he said, what do you predict is going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years? I let him know my opinion. I think that the degeneracy and how things are going, it would continue to keep going. Women will be more promiscuous. Women's standards would continue to go up. A small percentage of men would have all the chicks. And yeah, but if you incentivize marriages and take away the incentive for divorce, That'll put people in line. And you can still keep the contraceptives. You can still keep the contraceptives. Like because I think that if you incentivize the marriage, people wouldn't be like, women wouldn't be aborting and stuff like that. It's like, oh, I can get married and there's a benefit here. There's no incentive to divorce them. There's only a benefit to stay married to them. And I think it should be tiers too. Like, think about this, chat. Say if like, one, you're incentivized when you get married. So once you get married, sign the papers, there's no tax, right? No, you don't pay taxes. And maybe it's like not all taxes, but let's say that you don't pay taxes on groceries. Let's say something simple, like it's something to incentivize the family unit. But let's just say you don't pay tax, right? But then after 5 years of being married, when you do your taxes, you get a bonus. So you get a check. The government pays you for being married for 5 years. You get $5,000. Married for 5 years? Go ahead, $5,000. I'm just putting out small numbers, but those are small numbers. But to some people, $5,000 is big numbers because niggas is living in poverty right now. So 5 years. So one, let's just make this concise. You get married, no taxes. After 5 years, $5,000. 10 years, $10,000. 20 years, guess what? You stay married for 20 years. And it got to be verified too. Y'all got to be living together. You can't just stay married and you live in that one home, he living somewhere else, and then you trying to collect this government check. Because, people always trying to, find some little backdoor teen mom to, abuse the system. But if you stay married for 20 years, 50,000. 50,000. Bro, niggas is marrying. Matter of fact, I'm marrying 4 chicks. No, it's nuclear, so it's 1, right? So niggas is getting married, bro. Men are getting married out here. Women are going to view men differently, and women are going to view men differently, and men are going to view women differently, and it's going to create this order. Yo, boy Lane, what's good, bro? I see you in here. You sent me a private chat. Let's see what you got. You said, yo, Cooley, this on Instagram earlier, it made me think, what if feminism never existed? This would still be our traditional dating and marriage system. Okay, let me go ahead and bring this up. Thanks for the clip, yo, boy Lane. I'll go ahead and bring it up now. All right, so we got, first, before I bring that clip up, let me just get to these 2 super chats. Glenn Lawrence Presents, he sends in $5. Yo, I've been on Jubilee a few times. I got a few connects over there. Let me see what I could do. Word, that's what's up. Yo, Glenn Lawrence, yeah, see what you could do, man. If you got some connects over there, I'll definitely, I'll definitely go on Jubilee. Like, if they want to invite me on to one of their debates, debating a feminist or debating someone with the, woke mind, or debating dating and relationships, I would say that I'm an expert at. I'm a black belt. So male and female intersexual dynamics, I'm a black belt. When it comes to politics, not a black belt. This is no Fugazee, so I got to be honest with y'all. I'm not a black belt as far as politics because, I still need more. It's a lot of research that I have to do on like policies and stuff like that. There's a lot of policies and verbiage that I still got to catch up to speed on. But I do fairly decent in those debates. I can still defeat him, put up good arguments. I could still put up good logical arguments and still defeat arguments based off of logic and like morality and stuff. So yeah, I still can easily defeat people in those, but I wouldn't say I'm a black belt because I don't know all the policies and all of that junk and the historical policies and stuff. And that's what you'll need to be a black belt. And as far as religion, I would say that yeah, I'm not a black belt of remembering a lot of scriptures and stuff like that as far as religion, but as far as like, you know, atheists versus, you know, religion, I'm good at those debates. So Glenn Lawrence, let them know what I'm good at and what I'm down to do. I'll do male and female intersexual dynamics. I'll debate people on their worldview as far as, you know, feminism and stuff like that, patriarchy, all of that type of stuff, and some religious debates I'll do as well. We got Tyler Bell, says in $7. Hope all is well. Are you as against Candace Owens as the saint? Much appreciate the content. Okay, Marquette. I mean, I don't know if Marquette is against Candace Owens. So as far as your super chat, like against her in what way? Like, is he one of those guys? Marquette is not one of those people that is going to be like, just listening to anybody and like agreeing with 100% that anyone says. We're not those type of men. So that's one thing. We're not that. We don't even agree with one another on 100% of stuff. And that's totally fine. We have a good relationship. But him having disagreements with Candace Owens, I share many disagreements with Candace Owens. A lot of her prescriptions, I would say I disagree with a lot of her prescriptions. Then there's some things that I do agree with. But yeah, that's what I would say. You would have to say something specifically that he disagrees with Candace Owens about, because it's very, rational to say that Candace Owens is intelligent. Marquette would agree with that. She's intelligent. She does say, some intelligent things. Any rational person can see that, but is there some things that is like nonsensical? Yeah, for sure. From my perspective, yeah, for sure. From his perspective, I would assume that, yeah, for sure. We got Yo Boy Lean sends in $125. I'm not sure what currency this is, but it's probably like some weird currency, because I know Yo Boy Lean in another country, so it's probably like some weird currency. It's probably like 50 cents in America. Yo Boy Lean sent in $125 from some currency overseas that's probably like 50 cents in U.S. money. Nah, I'm playing. I appreciate the support, even if it's 50 cents. Yo Boy Lean, you locked in with me, dog. It's love. We got. He says, Cooley, you gotta go to Jubilee. Woke, bro. We gotta see you cook there, bro. Yeah, man, I'm all for it, bro. I'm all for it. Like, if you do a 20v1 dating and relationships, what? Listen, what? I'm smoking. If you do a 20v1 off of, you get one of these blue pill men, these, OnlyFans chicks, and these women that, want a traditional man, but they're modern themselves. You set up a panel like that, man, you're going to see a massacre. Even if you set up a panel like feminism, is feminism a net negative or a net positive for society? You set up a panel like that, it's going to be a massacre. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a black belt in those. All right. And not only that, I'm the only one. I don't know if there's not a lot. I'm the only one that's with all the smoke when it comes to debates. Listen, all the smoke. I maybe don't. It could be enough. Marquette, yeah, homie be with, yeah, Marquette. I got to give it to my dog Marquette. My dog Marquette be with the smoke too. But listen, in-person debate, they going to respect me. It's going to be different. These little soy boys coming up and talking. I'll be like, listen, They want to make ad hominems. What? I'm going to make the hominems right back. I'm going to talk greasy right back. But not only that, I'm going to attack and defeat their argument from the root. From the root. It's going to be nothing left. All right, let's bring up this clip that yo boy Lame sent me.
The right to vote. News. Women have been granted the right to vote.
What's next? My dog Charlie is running for president.
I just had the weirdest dream.
Unless it's about the breakfast you're about to make me, I don't want to hear it.
Whoa! What are you doing out of the kitchen?
In today's breaking news, a world-renowned philosopher has predicted when we will have a female president. 1990, never.
See you in 2 weeks, darling.
Why can't I come to Hawaii with you?
Why spoil a good holiday?
How was work?
It was good. We researched what the easiest job...
So what you're seeing so far in this clip is displaying the social norms that was rooted into the culture back then, that it's totally normal for a woman to be in the kitchen, and it's totally normal for a man to make a joke on that. Like, woman, get back in the kitchen. You know, joking around. But nowadays you say that's like, oh, you're misogynistic. So were your grandfathers misogynistic? Like, it's crazy how these feminists would be like, oh, you're misogynistic if you want a woman to, you know, be in a home and cooking you food and stuff like that. This traditional stuff. It's misogynistic. Well, guess what, you white, woke, mind virus, feminist? Those were your grandparents. Were your grandparents a misogynist? Was grandpapa a misogynist? No, granddaddy wasn't no misogynist. Granddaddy loved your grandmother. Loved your grandmother. And you know what? Your grandmother loved your grandfather back. So, like, these feminists are just dumb. They think, and it's so crazy because they've been indoctrinated to believe that being in the workforce is independent. No. If you compare the two, let's compare and contrast the two. Let's compare it. A woman working or a woman being in a marriage and being a stay-at-home wife. Well, you're working for someone else. You're not working for your family. Being a stay-at-home wife, you're working for your family, right? Ding. Okay, another one. Submitting to a stranger or submitting to your husband. Ding. Submitting to the man you love is much better than submitting to some boss. Right? So 2 for traditional. A traditional household. 0 for feminism, indoctrination. What's another one? Oh, when you work and you get out there in the workforce, you incur debt. Now I got all of this college debt. Now I got all of this debt because I can't pay my bills because I'm independent. Wait, stay-at-home wife, debt-free. The man incurs all the debt if there's any, right? So it's like, any way you look at this, you get to raise your children instead of strangers at a daycare raising your children. So there's only upsides when it comes to a woman choosing to be a stay-at-home wife, especially if she chooses a good man. She chooses a good man, you win it. You done hit the lottery. You hit the jackpot. It's much better than being independent, trying to be self-sufficient and get the bag on your own. Then your standards go up. Now it's harder for you to meet a man that you want and that wants you back, right? Your standards go up. Now you don't accept, you was making 50,000. You accept the guys that made 50, 80,000. Now you making 80,000. It's going to be hard for you to accept the man that's making 50,000. Usually you'll disqualify those men. But a man that's making 80,000, Okay, cool. But most people don't even make that much. What, only 20% of the population or less than 20% of the population makes $100,000 a year? So it's like, that's men and women. So as your standards as women became a victim of their ambitions. Take some notes. Women became a victim of their ambitions and their accomplishments. Because the more you want to be independent and self-sufficient and accomplish things, well, the harder it will be for you to find a man that you want and that wants you. Most of the guys, if you're making over 100K and those guys are making 100K and they're attractive and charismatic and they meet your height preference, man, they got options. One, they're less likely to settle down and choose you, right? Why would they choose you? What's special about you, right? So the guys that you would want normally don't want you when you accomplish things. So they become a victim of their own success in the dating marketplace. Now, one of the arguments could be, well, I don't have to rely on a man. Right? I don't have to rely on him. I could just go out there and get my money and, I don't have to rely on him. So that's a benefit. It takes a worry away. That's stupid. It takes one worry away, right? But you got multiple other worries. Like women, you're not even built for certain jobs, for one. That's why you don't go into certain fields. But two, you not all, but generally, you tend to look at the glass half empty than the glass half full. So you have a lot of negative thoughts and a lot of negative feelings towards things. So you're always worrying. I would say that the woman that's working, you're worrying more. You're worrying about paying bills. You're worrying about having to pay insurance in your car. Worrying about keeping the lights on. You're worried about a multitude of things. You're worried about, I got to wear this and dress this at work. Now you're competing with people in the workforce. Now you're worried about, I got to try to compete and to get this raise or to do this. You're worried about so much stuff. If you meet a man that's exhibits good characteristic traits of a protector and a provider, a masculine man, and you meet him, why wouldn't you choose to be a stay-at-home wife? So you don't have to worry anything, right? You have to worry about all of that stuff. All of those worries that you would be having, it just falls on the man. And the thing is, men were built for it. Like, we're built to handle adversities, many adversities at once. That's generally true with men. That's not generally true with women. Now, are there some women that's go-getters and they are workaholics and they find some sense of purpose or happiness within their work? Yeah, there's some out there. So it isn't like a monolith. I'm not saying all, but generally we should promote the nuclear family and we should incentivize that nuclear dynamic. But anyways, thanks for that video, yo boy Lane. Good video. All right, let me go ahead and stop sharing that. What we got here? Yo boy Lane. Okay. Okay, we had a few chats that came in. Yo boy Lane says, it's Philippine pesos. I'm in PI right now. I don't know why it did that. It must have automatically changed my currency when I got here yesterday. Okay, fair enough. We got Tyler Bell sends in $7. He says getting information from he says getting information from on female creators is a feminine trait for a man to have. Minor disagreement for me, but you and the saint are great men. Okay, so now you're stating specifically what Marquette said. I would say to you, Tyler Bell, speak to Marquette, man. Have a debate with him about it. I would say I pulled up a clip from a female creator today on this stream, and she gave bad advice for women, totally bad advice for women, and I debunked all of her bad advice. So I would recommend that you rewind the stream back and watch when I reacted to that clip. I demolished her on the clip. but she was given advice. She was given information. So what Saint is saying holds some validity for sure. And I tend to agree. I do agree with that. I know that you said you have a minor disagreement. Well, we would have to see what your minor disagreement is about. But I would say generally, that's a general agreement that me and Marquette share. Getting information from female creators is a feminine trait. Have I ever sat through a female podcast? No, I never watched any of them. Just pearly things. I watched her content when she had Andrew Tate on, like when she had like the full panel shows when she had Andrew Tate on. So I seen her content, but that's different. She has men on. I'm not really sure what she's doing now, but I don't watch any of the stuff that she's doing now, and I don't watch like anything at all. But I only think, even as far as just pearly things, because she's in a red pill space. I only watched the one full episode that I ever watched was the one where she had Andrew Tate on, and it was Brittany Renner on, and Andrew Tate was cooking. He was cooking Brittany Renner. So, I mean, that's my perspective on that. So, yeah, I don't watch female content creators at all. Do I think it's feminine if a man does it? It's definitely questionable, because what are you getting out of it? Like, are you truly getting, as Marquette would say, any ism? But even if you're watching men, are you even getting that ism? It all depends on which content creators you choose to watch. So do I think that, women can give good information? Yeah, they can. They can definitely give good information. Do I think that women, can give good advice? Yeah, they can, but generally, do they? I haven't seen it on a general basis. Have I ever learned anything from a woman? Yeah, for sure. For sure. Learn many things. So would I say that the things that I've learned, should they be like, put it like this, the things that I've learned from women did not help me to become a better man, right? Like you could learn like in school or something, like, a chick teaching you something like, math or, history or, whatever it may be, whatever the subject that she's teaching, she could teach you something. Yeah. But like, did a chick ever teach me anything to make me become a better man? No, not even my own mother. And I love my mama, but my mom did not create me to the man I am today. My mom raised me to be an adult. But manhood, if you don't have a father, is something you discover on your own. So that's different. And I appreciate my mom for everything that she did. And she continues to, be a wise woman and be very loving and nurturing. And those are the things that I appreciate about Mama Cooley. Okay, we got Yo Boy Lane. He says, here's another for the church, Cooley. Okay, I appreciate you, Yo Boy Lame. I appreciate you, man. Sending in that chicken. How much is 125 in pesos? I don't know. I don't know how much it is, but it doesn't matter. Even if it was 1 cent, I appreciate you, man. So I appreciate the love and the support, bro. All right, chat, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up stream. We've been streaming for almost 4 hours now, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up stream. Okay, Yobo Lim says 125 is about $2.25. Okay, fair enough. $2.25. I appreciate the support. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up stream. I don't think we got any other super chats coming in here. Before you go ahead and do this for me. Do not be a Ninja Watch. All right, man. So next stream is going to be Thursday. We're going to be doing the same thing, reacting to content and open debate. So anyone that wants to, if you were scared to come in tonight, I'll still give you the chance to come in on Thursday. But without further ado, this podcast was No Fugazee, and enjoy the new intro and outro. Peace.
No Fugazee.
And y'all see the suit too, man. Listen, new studio, new podcast by the spirit, not by the letter. Bro, we can go verse for verse all day long. Doing new things are okay with understanding the reality that we are in competition with one another. But you ladies think that you're special. You are in comfort. Men are men of their word. So here's my word. I'll fly you out here and we can do it in person. And after that, we can box. I'm about my business. So remember I said, when I ask you these questions, I will dismantle your entire argument. That's the end of the debate, my dog.
I'm 39, but I don't look your typical 39.
Belly.
Yeah.
You look 39. It's okay though. That man isn't intimidated by a woman like you. He's annoyed by a woman like you. Because a man doesn't want to date another man. He wants to date a woman.